I forgot to take this out. Big up, everybody. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I am accompanied by the panel of Real Chris, who was supposed to be out for the season, but apparently Maresca lied, and he's actually here sooner than we anticipated. We have Scott, the Ridge Nation playing FIFA, Oliver, as well as CP. I am Casually FC, or I'm Marshall DVDX. I don't know my name anymore. You guys already know what to do. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And last but not least, if you already are a subscriber, be sure to check out the memberships, as there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. I would like to also mention, people, that we do have a Discord where you can do a lot of fun things. There's an active community there. One thing I want to add is you can drop in your clips there. If you have clips or receipts that you would like to hand in, there is a section, or at least a section I'm going to make in the Discord for those specific things, because I'm sure there's a lot of clippable moments in the show that we've had in the past. By all means, Discord is a place where you can go ahead and put those in there as well if you have any, which we do like receipts here. We do like receipts and keeping people accountable here at Casually FC, including myself. So big up to everyone. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road by starting off with our very first topic of the day, which isn't Real Chris is out for the season. He's just temporarily in the sidelines, we'll say that. First topic is Chelsea fined. So Chelsea been fined by the FA. I'm not really sure why, but let's read about it, because maybe there's a bit more clarity on this. So, Chelsea have been charged by the FA for surrounding a match official during the Ipswich game. So the regulation discipline update: Chelsea have been charged for surrounding a match official during the Premier League fixture against Ipswich Town on Monday, the 30th December 2024. It is alleged that during the 10th minute of the fixture, Chelsea failed to ensure that its players did not behave in an improper manner. The club has until the 7th of 2025, or January 2025, in 2 days, to provide a response. So, yeah, and rightfully so. I think people are upset because you mean when Liam Delep dived and VAR decided to not actually do their job? Meanwhile, we're getting fined for... I don't recall us surrounding the ref in the 10th minute, but also, doesn't this happen all the time in all matches? Like, don't players always surround the ref?
I know it's a law, though. You can't do that now. They say you can't surround the ref.
They're trying to protect refs more. So yeah. I think it's like a recent thing that they've added. Like, remember, like, it's now only captains can now go to referees now.
Yeah.
And ask questions to them. Does that make sense? So it's not allowed anymore.
What are your weaknesses?
Mine.
The weaknesses?
Yeah.
Which is weakness?
Yeah, that's weakness right there. I'm not.
So you're telling me they need more protection from their stupidity?
That's what's happening, bro.
Yeah, you can't call them out.
These idiots make stupid decisions. Now, next
shit.
thing is you can only talk to them if you raise your hand or some bullshit. Nonsense, man. Freaking nonsense.
But it's like stuff like this, because that match, right? Like, obviously, there's a good portion of Chelsea fans that were upset because of the penalty, right? And I think there was other calls in that game too that didn't necessarily go our way, that we were kind of feeling wrong-sided about. But then this shit comes out, and it's just like, seriously? And I believe, I could be wrong about this, don't quote me. I believe there was even, in that refereeing show that they have on Sky, I believe they even went over the play and admitted that it wasn't a penalty. I could be wrong about that, by the way. So, it's such ridiculous that of all the things that came out of that, this was one of them that came out.
Still don't believe the lap dived against Chelsea. I believe he got cleared.
I think it was a penalty though.
No, but there's a good portion of the fan base that argue it's not, and
it's a bit soft, but once you're running,
it's soft. And obviously the best question to ask in those scenarios would be like, if it was Chelsea player getting clipped like that, would you still say it's not a penalty?
I'd want a penalty because we still, and I think
I would. My reaction would probably be like, okay, well, it's a very, very soft penalty. I think we got really lucky. And in that sense, I think Delap.
Well, if they give Delap, if they give Delap one for that shit, then we should get one too. It's the same thing.
I seen like Eden Hazard got taken out like so lightly, but like they clipped him slightly. and the referee would give penalty, or VAR would have. But when VAR came in 2018, still, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Came to the league.
So I'm
in
pretty sure I
2019.
remember seeing Hazard. Well, they was like looking at him, and he got slightly clipped from the back, and yeah, like
VAR didn't come that early.
I'm pretty sure. It's like it's
It
not
was
that
after
early.
COVID.
In the Premier League, came in 2019.
Was it 29?
Yeah.
Was it before COVID?
I think in other competitions it was before
I remember.
2019.
I think it was against
but-
West Ham. They was viewing Hazard, and it's such a light clip, but they still clipped him.
No, it was the COVID season, 2019, 2020. That's when it came in.
Okay.
Do you guys even recall us surrounding the ref? I don't recall that at all. In the 10th minute?
Not aggressively, but we did surround him.
There's a couple of players running.
Like
around,
it wasn't 5 Chelsea players screaming their heads off, but we did.
Like, it
surround
wasn't a
them.
bench clearing thing, right? Like, it was...
No.
Oh no, of course not.
I mean, it won't even matter anyway. Like, how much are you really going to find Chelsea for surrounding the ref?
Maybe
This is the thing. Like, it's going to be a
a
very insignificant amount.
It's,
You know,
I think it's like
compared to what
100,000
Clear
or
Lake are.
something.
100,000.
no.
Something like that. It's
Yeah.
at least. I think it's at least 6 figures.
Maybe these refs are scared of cooties or something because it sounds like they're from grade 5 or some bullshit with this. Oh my god.
Like, listen, at
I
one
mean,
point,
back in the
like,
day, that would be nonsense.
I do understand defending the ref, but defend the ref off the pitch, not necessarily on the pitch. I don't think nothing necessarily bad is going to happen to him on the pitch. I don't see Bruno Fernandes biting at like Anthony Taylor's ankles. Ahmed scored, guys. I don't see Bruno Fernandes biting at Anthony Taylor's
88 for now.
ankles. I don't see Mike Dean getting tackled by Bruno Guimaraes. Like, it's the off the pitch shit that referees need to be defended from. You need to defend them from the fans.
I'll be honest though, no, I'll disagree. Like, listen, there's sometimes, bro, when a referee gives a penalty, right, whether it be rightly or wrongly, right, the way sometimes players all rushed him at the same time, bro. The guy's only one guy, bro. Like, and then you've got 10 guys.
Yeah, but what are they
at
gonna
once.
do?
They're not
Nothing
gonna
ever
fight him,
happens.
No. But sometimes, bro.
Marshall,
No. Sometimes, like, we need to also understand in the heat of the moment when you're trying to win a game.
Heat of the moment.
But no, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, in the heat of the moment, like, everyone's coming to you at once. Pause. Like,
Hey, yo.
it's gonna literally but like that will genuinely, like, obviously, you know,
It's startling, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like, so
But
I think I'm going to be a
still.
bit fair on that one. Yeah.
I'm
Gotta-
sorry. We're getting scared of guys that literally can't do anything to you. They can't even touch you because they'll get fined. But they're just gonna crowd around you, and we're getting intimidated.
CP, I don't think it's about.
And we're 30.
It's
And we're 30 to 40 years old.
it's not about. But I don't think it's about like protecting the referee in terms of like their safety or anything. I think a lot more of it has to do with, and it hasn't been brought up, you know, just protecting the integrity of the game and, you know, like pressuring the referee into a decision. Like, I know that the Delap penalty was like very controversial, and you could argue that it wasn't a penalty, but there are sometimes situations where the referee will get the decision right, and then what if the opposition swarms him and then influences the decision to get it reversed, like, or whatever.
Oh, that's a fair
So
point,
that could be it
actually.
too.
I hear
In a
that, but I've never
persuasiveness,
seen
yeah.
a referee change his mind. I don't think.
I get that. I get
Plenty of
that. No,
times.
I
Really?
get
Like,
that.
just
That
because
happens.
the
That's
place
VAR
around it.
is. That's what VAR is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, sorry, I meant with players like when they used to before VAR. By the way, when they give a
Imagine
penalty.
Anthony Taylor talks to like Bruno.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know what, Bruno, you're right.
Chris,
I'll
I've got an
reverse it."
example. I've got an example. Do you remember the after full time penalty for Man United?
No, that was a VAR thing.
Oh, okay. It was VAR because
Yeah, that was
I'm
VAR. But
I'm
there are
trying to think.
examples
Was
of,
it
like-
actually a chance where like how can players actually change a referee's decision if he said penalty and there's no
There are
VAR?
examples of like when like a handball happens or potential handball, or like it's normally penalties. Like if a handball or it hits someone's arm, you see players just crowd him because it's an intimidation tactic. It's not meant to like obviously like.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
But then that's what VAR is there for, no? If it's like a handball in a penalty
I mean, it's-
situation, even if the
yeah,
ref gets
No,
intimidated,
Well,
VAR's
VAR
supposed to-
clearly doesn't work, does it? So
No, but VAR doesn't
Not
stop that
always.
because it's like it will still happen in terms of getting crowded. The only way you get rid of it is by having the rule in place that they did have in place and then got rid of, where it's like only the captain can speak, and if you go and try and talk to the ref, it's an instant yellow card. That is meant
No,
to
Scott,
stop that, but they got
no,
rid of
Scott,
it.
I get you're gonna get intimidated and you might be swayed, but that's what the VAR is there for, is to get the double check. Like, hey, even if I'm getting quote unquote swayed, VAR's in London right now checking the video and then telling me to go to the monitor and check it myself.
No, but
You know what I'm
again,
saying?
the issue with the reason that doesn't work is because VAR is the reason that doesn't work, or the reason it shouldn't work, is because VAR is meant to be in place for clear and obvious errors. If he gives a penalty, but it's debatable, but there's no clear and obvious error that he got it wrong, then they can't do anything. Even if it's not like, even if it's a soft pen, like it's, for example, our pen with the lap, that's a soft pen, but there's enough in that you can't say it's a clear, like he's made an error. He's made a clear and obvious error that it shouldn't be a pen. And same way, if it was the other way around, if we hadn't been given the pen, if they hadn't been given the pen, there's not enough in the challenge that I think you can say a clear and obvious error has been made, because there's that grey area. So in the situation of our penalty for the lap, the VAR should not have changed. Whatever decision would have happened, VAR should never have got involved and changed that decision. And the key word being should, because that the English refs don't have to use VAR. But that's the issue, is like VAR won't always be able to change a decision if there's no clear and obvious error. And then it comes back to it's on the referee to make the decision, and then you'll get players trying to surround him to get the decision that they want.
Yeah, I see both angles. I do. I do feel like, obviously, I'm more inclined to believe that I think we are overprotecting the refs, and especially considering how often they get so many bad calls. There's 2 Olivers. That's very strange. But regardless, it makes sense from both ends. But I'm just inclined to like, this is a fine because a bunch of players happen to be surrounding the ref, when I think that should be... I don't know how to solve it, because at the same time, like the captains need to be doing a better job. So I guess finding the team incentivizes the captain to, hey, we can't have this happen. You need to...
But realistically, if I may, what is Crown referee gonna do? What is that going to do? Like, let's actually have that argument right now. Yeah, what is Crown referee gonna actually do, Marshall?
That's what I mean.
Nothing. So therefore, so like what I mean by that, is that the referee can't change his outcome, by you crowding him. So why are you crowding him, getting to his face, shouting all of the words in the universe at him, to make him to make him somehow change his mind when you know that can't happen? There's no point. It's pointless.
Yeah. Obviously, like, you shouldn't be saying, like, threatening things. You shouldn't be threatening, like, the referee's family and stuff like that. That's, like, obviously a finable offense. But I don't know. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, all of the players are gonna at one point try to convince the referee, like, hey, that's not how can you say it's a penalty? Check the VAR. And how often is it like check VAR, and it's just stuff like that. It's, I don't know. It seems a little over the top, but I get where you guys are coming from. I can't disagree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. Let's actually move on to the next topic. And the other thing I wanted to bring up today to start off the show was... Okay, well, let's do this. Chris, is your favorite segment? It's not a sponsorship, but it's a new training kit, so there you go. Yeah. We gotta have it. We have to have this segment. It's a wonderful segment.
If it's not that 2013 one, I don't want it.
I mean, yeah, I don't want this one. We can exclusively leak official images of Chelsea's new 2025 training uniform. It is part of the special Nike 2025 collection. It is made by Nike and will be used for a second phase of the 24-25 Premier League season. Oh, okay, so we'll be using it this season. Chris is gonna get himself multiple salmon-colored kits.
Is that so?
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think, Chris? This is your segment. This is
not my segment. I hate it.
You don't have a choice. It is.
It has been on it. Nice.
If you want this to be an F1 channel one day, you're gonna have to do this.
Chris, we know that you're a fashionista, man. Tell us your opinion. Come on.
Hell yeah, dude. Especially with those socks we saw.
Oh, you saw.
Dude, out of context, that's such a...
Hey, yo, what do you...
What, you want to see other socks? Like,
No.
I don't know what's going on. I'm not involved.
Do you want to see my bare feet? Is that what you want to see?
No. Well, let's talk about the kit. What do you think of the
Go
kit?
see my
the training kit. No.
I'll show you my stars.
Hell no. I don't want to see your scars, dude.
Like, I got a bunch.
What is it? What?
No, Marshall is stuff me. That's what you want to see.
What is wrong with this guy, man?
Bruh, no, just talk about the
What
damn
the
kid, bro. That's
Okay.
a strange little segment there. Yeah, what do you think of this
I'm not
kit?
buying
I
it.
don't like it. I don't like it.
What do you mean you don't like it? That looks really nice. I'll probably wear that.
It's
I went,
nice,
shut
but
I went,
Salmon or
bro,
beige
guys.
is not my color.
How many times have I been on the show and you've seen me wear the same color as a t-shirt here quite regularly? It's actually one of my favorite colors.
Probably like once out like 10 times, maybe.
Yeah, bro. It's literally hanging there actually, freshly ironed and everything like that. I'm
The
gonna wear
way
it
you
tomorrow.
watched that
Show us,
shut
show us.
up with went away.
show us, man.
No, it's actually not hanging. It's just like inside my like actual thing.
Why
Yeah.
are you lying?
No, I did like
Why
it's
do
freshly ironed.
Why
Like,
you
I didn't like as a freshly ironed.
How many? Wait, how many?
Are you lying for the camera, bro? Don't let me get on the camera and tell me the truth.
You think I'm being serious?
Go. I'm so curious now.
I only have like I bought like one of my,
This is gonna be one of those shows, ladies and
and
gentlemen.
that was
just
like
letting
the
you know right
squared one.
I
Like,
apologize.
Guys, literally.
now. We're due for a
oh no,
show.
I got 2 training kits.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I have seen Ahmed wear that.
Yeah, what salmon top?
Yeah, salmon top. And then I think he's like naked, and it's like, oh no, Ahmed's just wearing a salmon top.
Whoa, what?
No, I'm just saying. You ever seen people when they wear those skin-colored shirts, and you're just like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, no, I have a shirt on. It's just fucking skin-colored. I bet you Chris wears one of those shirts that has like the hairy chest on it.
What?
What? Whoa, wait.
I see why you went off cam. I see why you went off cam, Ahmed. Okay.
No, I want to eat food. I'm eating my snack quickly while I'm talking.
Okay, I thought you just didn't want me to show your face with this chest hair.
Bro, are you good, bro?
See a straw?
Alright, man. I got more than enough to snap. More
We're
than enough.
We're
only 2
17
seconds.
minutes.
Oh my
in.
God, I don't
I know,
understand
we're
all
only
this.
17 minutes in.
Let's move on, please. Move on, fuck off.
Why you want to talk about a Bing X?
No,
Yeah,
no.
okay. I think it's kit.
Oh, it's not
I'm
an X,
not,
really, but-
I'm not big on it, but it's also the training kit, so it is.
No
what
way,
it
it's guys.
is.
Yeah, Marshall's just a certified hater, man.
I
Always say
mean,
every
Marshall, you
time
should
I
put
knows
to
him,
the
man.
viewers or something. How many would you buy this shirt? Yes or
Wait,
no?
what?
Like, ask the viewers, like, how many would you buy
Oh,
this
a
shirt?
poll?
Yes or no? Yeah, a poll.
All right, for those of you, all 40 of you
I
in chat,
guarantee
first
you,
of
none
all,
of us gonna say yes.
press the like. Secondly, here's the poll: who would buy this kit? There you go. Okay.
And
This
just
is
quickly to
yes,
answer that,
yes,
I
yes.
was playing Cyberpunk 2077. You know what I mean? I'm not a FIFA guy. I just want to let the streets know. You know what I mean?
What?
Shut up.
I'll give it a minute. Let's see what chat has to say. Who would buy this kit? And then no, I'm with Chris. That's your option. Those are your options, people.
This guy, man.
I've never bought a training kit, to be fair. There were some
No,
training kits
I
I
mean,
probably
neither.
should have bought. Yeah, like the black training kit, the Trivago training kits that we had last season. Those were nice kits. I kind of wanted to buy one, but I was like, nah. Let me actually buy like an actual team kit. But yeah, I don't know. I've never bought a training kit. Has any of you guys bought training kits?
I bought 2.
No.
One when I was a kid, and I saw one
I
on
got
sale
the
for like
UCL
£20.
winning one.
Why not?
I got the UCL in.
Yeah, I got that. What the 23rd? Yeah,
The white
23rd.
one, the white and pink one. I've got that one.
I like the emblem.
Yeah,
It's
the white and
You,
pink.
you didn't get the one with Di Matteo, like the blue squares and stuff.
No, I'm talking about the recent one, Chris, not the old one. Yeah, so I got that
I
one.
got
of
that
course.
one.
I've actually got the black one in this one. I think you've seen me wear this before, actually. The one that's just completely black.
I wonder who has a better collection, you, Ahmed, or Dark? Because both of you guys have an expansive collection of kits.
I'd probably say I have the better ones because I'm a better collector, and I'm in the country where the items are there.
He bandwagons more. He bandwagons
He does
more.
bandwagon. He does have the limited
NBA,
edition
you
Kai
know what I'm
Havertz
saying?
one.
And those NBA kits, you know.
He has
Listen,
limited edition. Kai Havertz.
Listen. All I'm saying, man, Dark is in the US, man. He's not a real fan, and I'm a real fan, so I get that. I get it from the source. There you go. I get it from the source.
Where is it? Oh, I don't have it.
Be Ahmed's last
Dang it.
appearance on the channel. See you later, mate.
I had. Oh, you know what? I do have it. I gotta upload it. Hold on. I can find this real quick. I have. Oh no, I got rid of it. Oh yes, no, it's right here. Why do I still have this image?
What?
Well, you'll see in a minute. There you go. The limited edition Kai Havertz kit. That's the one I was talking about.
So happy to wear Kai Havertz.
Bro, that kit,
Look at the smile, bro.
You know what hurts me? The fact that they put habits on that kit, because that kit is really good. That's one of my favorite damn kits, by the way.
Yeah, hold that.
You did that. You chose that, Pat.
You did.
Could have missing out.
Yeah, you could have. All right, I'm ending the poll. A few of you voted. Let's see. Chris,
I win.
people agree with you. Yeah, you win. 81% of the fan base voted
Donald Trump
no.
and
Don't
Never
go there. Don't go there, you fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's why it's an important segment, Chris. You have a pulse on what the audience thinks.
Yeah.
Also, Cascade, you're very right. Only 11 votes, but only 7 likes. Like the damn stream, exactly.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, fraudulent behavior in the
commercial.
chat. Fraudulent behavior in the chat. Okay, let's go on to something maybe a little bit more relatable and what we want to talk about, which is praising a certain player who is probably most likely going to be our player of the season if he keeps up this form that he's in right now, and that's going to be Moises Caicedo. Let's praise Caicedo because there's a stat that came out that I saw was really, really impressive to see.
I thought you were about to say Cucurella, but hey.
No, not Cucurella. No, even I can't praise Cucurella more than I can praise Caicedo. No player in the Premier League has made more tackles and interceptions combined than Moises Caicedo this season, 90 and counting. Total domination. And listen, people made fun of me for saying it early in the season. I was making a joke. You can see the similarities in their player, but Moises Kante, I'm just telling you, man, you can see how this guy has shaped a lot of how he plays off of, his idol, which he admits is one of his idols was Moises Kante. Wow, N'Golo Kante. So yeah,
Marshall, I've got a question.
I'm really happy with this.
Once
What's
they're
up?
done. So I was a friend of mine at work. He's also a Chelsea fan. Me and him were actually having a nice little discussion about Caicedo and a Chelsea legend in Mr. Ramirez. And the question and the question he was asking me was that do you think Caicedo currently is better than Prime Ramirez when he was playing for us? And that's a question for the whole audience.
You already know my answer on that.
That's tough. Because obviously I want to just say Caicedo is clear, but then when you really think about how underrated Ramirez was and how consistent he was for Chelsea, I don't know. Ramirez did it for how long? 4 seasons or 5 seasons at the club? Ramirez was here for a hot minute.
I think he was here for 6 years or something, if not 7.
I also remember that season where everyone was terrible except for him and William, 15-16. Obviously, Champions League as well.
Here's the thing, Ahmed. I have to say Ramirez because I can't get the image out of my head of him chipping Valdez during the Barcelona game. I just can't get that. That's burned into my memory.
Technical ability of that, yeah.
So I have. That's what's giving me the. There's no logic to this. I'll be honest with you. I'm just thinking of that one thing he did for us that helped us get to the Champions League and be.
I'm gonna let everyone give their answer, then I'm gonna give my comment. Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott. I'm curious what you have to say about this one.
I'll be real. I just don't really remember Ramirez that much. Outside of the the obvious.
Oh my god, it's so loud.
Is it?
Right, that was
a little bit, but it's more. I don't really remember outside of the greats. Like Drogba, Hazard, Lampard, Terry. I don't really remember the other guys unless I just love them as a player, like Mata, for example. Yeah, I just don't really remember Ramirez that much in terms of what he used to do on day to day. And I watch Caicedo every week now, so it's a bit easier. I just remember the moments from Ramirez, right? The goal was the one against Barca, for example. So it's hard to say. I also think there's slightly different types of midfielders because I think in terms of especially the way we play as well, I think Ramirez was way more box to box. Whereas I think Caicedo is that as well, but we don't use him that way. So it's kind of hard to fully judge.
Mm-hmm. What about UCP? What was your final conclusion on this one? You said it, I think, but I forgot.
No, yeah, I just said it has in my head. It's Ramirez just because interception wise it's similar. Caicedo's better at progressing the ball, but shooting, I still think Ramirez was better.
Yeah.
They have the same engine, and he has one of the most I guess clutch goals for us in our history of our club in modern times. So, yeah.
Chris.
Oh no. I think Caicedo will overtake obviously Ramirez's Chelsea legacy, but at the moment, because obviously Caicedo's new, I'm always gonna say Ramirez right now because Ramirez obviously Anna had said that Champions League Ramirez was a very good. He had a very good work rate, a very good engine in him, and he was very technical. I thought as well, and I forgot who said it. Underappreciated. I agree. He's a very underappreciated player. To even not just Chelsea fans, there's not players rival fans really noticed him like that. So, but yeah, Ramirez is very good for Chelsea, and Chelsea had a very good team back then, and he was part of that squad as well. So, and they won everything as well.
Scotty too hotty? What you
So
saying?
yeah, I'm saying Ramirez.
I said my answer, bro.
Yeah.
Are you just not listening?
Yeah, I guess he's not
He's too busy eating, bro.
The chicken's
He's
hitting too good.
listening to the sounds of himself chewing, dude.
The chicken's hitting too good, man. The chicken's hitting too good.
When a chicken too juicy, it makes you deaf,
Do
bro.
you guys not remember Ramirez 15? I know it's a terrible season, but Ramirez 15-16, he's our best player. I thought.
Chris, I'm gonna give my answer.
Wait, I want Oliver's answer too.
Why did I say Scott? I was meant to say Oliver. I got the wrong right guy. My apologies.
Oh, I got that.
Hey, that's some racist right there.
The stream is going left today.
Hey, that's some micro.
Marshall here. Okay.
Mike.
That's micro.
Oliver, it's your turn.
Yeah, I hate to be boring, but I'll just basically repeat what CP said. It's pretty much got to be Ramirez. Two great players, but I think the shooting from Ramirez makes him more of a complete player than Caicedo. But that's no diss to Caicedo. So yeah.
Don't ask Prime's opinion. I feel like he's gonna slander Ramirez. Don't ask him.
Oh, I was gonna say we got 20 minutes.
Okay, ask him. Oh my god, here we go, Prime.
I think we got time.
Ramirez or
Ramirez
Caicedo?
Ramirez.
Who's better
In terms of what?
in terms of overall footballing ability?
For us, Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
For Chelsea, yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
I haven't seen Caicedo's career really play out. I think Caicedo has more ability in terms of his trajectory of where he can get to in his career. But Ramirez was extremely underrated when he was at Chelsea. Extremely underrated at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think I have to go.
Sick at Chelsea, but people the fact that he got shunted out on the wing at times, and he was still able to ball out on the right, on the left. It was a shame that he even got sold. But he got sold, and we got Kante, and so. But yeah, Ramirez was brilliant. I think Caicedo can definitely overtake him though. The fact that people keep comparing Caicedo to the likes of Essien and Makelele shows that he's already, what people think of Caicedo in terms of his potential and where he can get to. So, is he currently at this stage better than Ramirez? Arguably, no. But his potential-wise, yes, he can surpass Ramirez. Definitely surpass.
I agree with that notion, to be honest, because who's to say? I think in 3 more seasons and 4 more seasons, if Caicedo keeps up this form, then it's going to be Caicedo, in my opinion. But Ahmed, what did you think about that? Because Ahmed asked.
It's interesting when I just want to say it's very interesting. When we start talking about certain stuff, Prime starts showing up.
Ahmed, I'm speaking. CP, why do you think I'm going to slander Ramirez?
See,
I don't know, man.
you're weird.
We have the group chat, and you were saying Ugarte is Conte still better than Ugarte, so.
No.
Always hating on a black man. Always hating on a black man.
CP, you don't understand. You don't understand that. CP, you don't understand that. I put that in to Sheik. Do you know why? Because Sheik said that Ugarte is like Kante. That's why I put that in as a question.
Okay, then fair enough. I didn't know that context. Okay, fair enough.
All right. But hold on. Did you not read the comment in the group chat? I said at Sheik, Ugarte, you still think Ugarte is better than Kante? That's what I put in the group chat.
What did he
Not
say
really.
to that?
It must be another group at the end, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Did Cheek say that Ugarte is better than Kante?
But Sheik is probably saying that as banter, bro. Like,
Sheik said it.
It has to
Sheik,
be banter.
Sheik said it on his. No. No. It's not banter. I have the clip. Sheik said it on his channel, on his live stream. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
Sheik?
I have the clip.
You have explaining.
So yeah, so
Sheik.
you thinking that I'm gonna disrespect Ramirez because I would never think Ugarte is. But listen, I call Ugarte, I call Kante a Malteser head, but like I'm not stupid. Ugarte can never.
All right, so
Ahmed,
listen.
what are your thoughts on
I
this
obviously brought up the question because I feel like in terms of Chelsea legends, particularly in the midfield department, I feel like Ramirez is the most underrated, most disrespected a lot of the time, and I feel like it's very unforgivable the way he's disrespected. You know what I mean? Respect my legend, firstly. That's what I want to say. Firstly,
I was about to say legend.
Why isn't Ramirez a legend? He's won a Premier League with us. He's won a Champions League for us. What are you talking
He's not
about,
a legend. He's a cult
legend.
hero.
He's a legend.
He's
Cult
a
hero,
legend.
yeah.
In my opinion,
he's up there with Fabregas.
I mean,
man.
if you want to call him legend, it's fine.
No, he's not a legend.
Listen, for me, in my personal opinion, in my honest opinion, he's a legend. So we'll keep it pushing.
Is Juan Mata a legend?
Wait, hold on.
Yes, Juan Mata
hold
a
on.
legend as well.
No, not even Mata. Not even Mata.
Wait, you consider Mata a legend?
He won us a
Wait, hold on, guys.
I mean, he was on Real that year, but cult hero.
Ahmed, forget all these trolls. You
To
and
be
me.
fair, I say Thiago Silva
is
a legend. So.
forget Marshall. You know what Marshall is. John Obi Mikel, is he a legend? No, Ahmed.
Yes, I would have to say he's a legend because of the time he's been with us and what he's done for us. As well, yes, I would consider him.
Is Essien a legend?
Yes.
Is Kante a legend?
Yes.
Okay, what do you class as a legend then? And what do you class as
guys that have won multiple trophies for us, have been loyal when they've been there, and obviously, they've helped to get us to that place.
And like have had major moments.
Jorginho.
Hold on. Is Jorginho a legend?
Jorginho is a good one because obviously I think we won a Europa League of Jorginho, if I'm not mistaken, or was it after they won Europa League?
No, it's
Europa League, Champions League,
Europa League and UCL, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have to say yes. I would have to say yes in terms of what he did. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
No.
But maybe
I love Jorginho prop, but this is crazy.
No, I don't understand what a legend is.
Okay, no, Ahmed, name me a player that you class at Chelsea as a cult hero.
I would say Balak for me.
Cahill.
No, that's a good question.
I'm talking about Ahmed.
Yeah, Cahill.
Don't speak for him.
Diego Costa.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
I'm trying to think right now.
Also not a legend.
Probably like a Matic. I'd probably say Matic.
Matt's a cult. Yeah, he's a cult hero. He's a hero. Yeah,
I'd probably say Matic.
I just listen. I love Mikel, but like I can't. Yeah, I can't necessarily put him in the like.
Maybe you know what it is. Maybe it's you know what it is. I think for me maybe whereas I always respect guys that have been with us for a longer period of time, and that's just me. Maybe that's just me in it.
How long was Ramirez here for? I don't think he was here.
5 to 6 seasons.
He was 6 seasons. 6 seasons, bro. He was
here for a while.
Yeah.
So
he won trophies
because he came for us. I think.
Oh yeah, he was in the Jose squad, and then Conte sold him.
Yes.
He's won 2 Prems and a champ and a Europa.
Damn, when you put it that way, he did win 2 Prems. And
that's what I'm saying, bro.
And he was the one of the key parts for us.
Listen. For me, Alasia of this legend. The point I'm trying to make is that I feel like he's very much, in terms of like Chelsea midfielders that have been with us. I feel like he's very underrated.
Like, 100%.
I extremely disrespectful.
I agree.
Why are we having? I mean, I know I joined it. Apologies, everyone. But like, why are we having Caicedo Ramirez comparisons?
We were meant to be praising Caicedo.
Listen, chill. Okay, I just want to ask a question. Yes, we're trying to praise Caicedo, but obviously, I'm just asking this question because like it just brought to mind because recently at work, one of my mates actually asked me a question. Who's at work? About Ramirez and Caicedo in terms of like the levels that they are, which I thought was an interesting question just to ask the stream in it. So
I don't think Caicedo Ramirez is a good comparison. I've always compared Caicedo to Essien. I think that's what he is in our midfield.
That's fair enough. But no, he asked me that question, and I thought, listen, he asked me that question, and I just thought I'd ask the panel. So that's what it was at the end of the day. But
I think it was a good
yeah. But at the end of the day, I was just gonna say quickly, just I feel like Ramirez very underrated. I think we should. What I'm saying is respect Ramirez, and Caicedo can get there, of course. But listen, let's go back to praising Caicedo's amazing season, and not the last 2 games where he's been dead. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Little cheeky.
Speaking of other players, we should respect, and I'm saying that in a very banterisk.
If he says Correa, man, get him out of this club, man.
No, I'm joking, people. I mean, some of you might actually agree with what I just said there, but some of you are probably going to disagree.
Of course, Marshall.
Respect Tosin. Respect Tosin. You know what, man? Put the fire in the bag, bro, man.
Ahmed, notice that Marshall won't respect Jackson, but he wants us to respect
Interesante. Muy interesante.
You guys reckon when Ahmed took a bite of that chicken, he said he did that too? And that's why I didn't hear Scott.
Well, listen. Whoa, why are you talking about chicken and me? You know what I mean?
You were eating chicken, were you not? You said you were eating chicken. You said you were eating chicken.
Guys, chat. Let's notice. Hashtag noticing.
Oh, Ahmed, one more before we go on to this Cossin call. Ahmed.
Yes.
So you said Jorginho's a legend, right?
Yes.
Do you class Christensen, Rudiger, and Kovacic as legends?
He doesn't class Christensen as
No,
legend.
I wouldn't.
You're gonna
They
have
only
to
won
swallow
one
that
trophy.
pill.
My thing is more than one. Christensen said I would have to class, by the way, because Christensen says
All of them won more than one. Hang on.
Yeah, what are you
All
talking
of
about?
Christensen won the Europa League.
That's why. You know what?
You're an idiot.
Rudiger, I have to. Rudiger's my guy.
You're an idiot.
Rudiger's my guy.
This is the thing, Ahmed. Your scope for legends is very big.
Yes.
Man, I respect it. Every player that's come through Chelsea, pretty much 75% of the roster that Chelsea's ever had is a legend.
So Ahmed, according to you, Rudiger, Christensen, and Kovacic are legends.
Maybe I need to go back to the drawing board.
Lukaku's a legend.
Okay,
No,
one
he's
more. Is Kepa a legend?
Okay, come on, bro.
I get the logical conclusion you're going for, but
Gallagher's cult hero. Gallagher's cult hero. Gallagher's cult hero.
Huh? What?
No, I'm talking about Kepa has all the trophies Rudiger has. Kepa has all the trophies Rudiger has.
Yeah.
Kepa a legend.
Oh man, I'm blaming you for this.
Oh, your criteria.
All right, let's get back on track.
All right, I got it.
No,
Let's get back on track. Enzo Maresca.
Obviously, the legend. Kepa has to be then. But I'm gonna stop.
Okay, anyways, I don't want to hear Kepa on legend ever in my life.
Yeah,
again.
I'm not having a
Bournemouth legend. Bournemouth legend.
It's why you can't use trophy logic.
Kepa's gonna get Bournemouth back to a European spot, man.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. So he can be sold. Fuck it, yeah.
I'm only saying Kepa has as many Champions Leagues as Rudiger.
And oh my God, Enzo Maresca has backed Levi Cole to become future Chelsea captain and revealed that fellow center back Tosin Adarabioyo has emerged as the most vocal leader in the Blues dressing room. I don't think there's much news here. I feel like we kind of already knew this, but I mean, any thoughts on this? I guess where I was kind of going with this is that, do you think this adds any value or add any
No.
I guess reinforcement as to keep
Yapping is free, so fuck it. No.
Can I just say, like, I think
No,
someone said that. Someone said this better, and I think the panel will agree when I say this, man. Shut up and defend, man. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yapping is free, exactly.
You know what I mean? I was gonna say shut up and dribble, but that's NBA. So with this, we have to say shut up and defend in it. You know what I mean? That's what they need to be doing.
Fair enough. I think that's what they're gonna do. Anyways, this segment went on.
I don't know if
I mean, are they Marshall? Like, Tosin, man, the way he gets, listen, he's like a whorehouse, bro. They always just go through it.
God.
You know what I mean? So,
God damn.
Oh my God.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
interesting.
Wow.
That's free entry, man. That's free entry, bro. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
I'm
God.
gonna shut up and defend.
Hang on, Ahmed. How do you know that?
No, come on. TV
The
shows.
Scott press is real.
TV shows, man. TV.
The Scott Gagan press is real, bro. Pin you to the corner. Hey,
yo.
Oh man, this show's going left today. All right, we move on to the next topic. Smash a like if you're enjoying the content. All right.
What a yo did I just miss?
We're good.
It's okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Chelsea in Africa. This is a good topic because I think there's been more news surrounding this, and I like seeing where this is going in terms of talent ID. So according to this source here, Blueco and Chelsea have been actively expanding its scouting operations into Africa, recognizing the continent as a area rich with untapped football talent. This initiative, called the Make Africa Blue,
Oh my god.
I almost automatically finished that in my head. Make Africa Blue involves strategic hiring and scouting summits to align their recruitment vision. Fuck my life. In the summer of 2024. I'll read it in a second. In the summer of 2024, Blueco appointed Seyi Olofinjana and Achiru Gao. Did I say it? Gao? Is that how you say that? All right,
Gao,
sorry.
yes, you're correct.
Yeah, all right, cool. To lead the African scouting operations. Their responsibility includes identifying and securing promising young players before other European clubs can. Hashtag Make Africa Blue.
Okay, Marshall, can I just say something? Oh, yeah, go ahead, actually. Go.
Well, last one.
Yeah.
One of the focal points of the Blue Coast Summit was a South African starlet named Emily Witbui, 16-year-old attacking midfielder as well as a winger, who is currently on a month-long. Who's currently on a month-long trial at Chelsea's training facilities in Cobham. Witbui has already been capped at various youth levels in South Africa. Is it not Emil? Oh, it's Emil. Did I say Emily? Emil Witbui. Pretty sure I said that right.
Cool.
Eventually.
Emil
I just
Witbui.
want.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. No, I just want to say
African names.
the optics and imagery of a company in Chelsea whose one figurehead is white, and then you have Make Africa Great Again.
I was gonna say.
With its colonial past is so fucking fishy. It is wild.
That's
It is wild that this company say Africa is rich with resources.
Let's right.
Make Africa great.
I mean,
Make Africa
wait,
blue.
Marshall. First of all, can you? Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
I hear you.
My face is on camera, so above. Thanks.
Oh, gotcha.
I just want to say, man.
Second of all, Make Africa Blue is crazy when some of the best African players of all time, Drogba, Essien, Dolombi Mikel, Victor Moses as an Afcon, Salah doesn't. Some of them have played for Chelsea. So make Africa Blue. Hey, it's been blue, mate, for 10 years. So, but CP's right though. But it just fits into our brand, man. A white man has to help Africa, and it fits into the brand of Chelsea.
I mean, am I wrong, Mark?
I just said that. That's what I just said, dude.
what'd
That's wild. That is wild.
What'd you say?
It's
What'd
not
you
wild,
say,
though.
Ahmed?
It fits into the brand. It fits into the brand.
That's the brand, man. You know what I mean? We're just getting blacked. That's it, man. Big up, man.
Oh my god.
What?
Hey, yo.
Not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Also, Ahmed, I heard what you said about the Sassy. What's wrong with you?
What did I say about the
Are you
saucy,
okay?
bro? I never said anything about the saucy, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
I know you said something about the saucy class ref, but that's not me, mate.
No, you said something about you said he's open like a whorehouse.
No, I was talking about Tosin.
No, that was what
Tosin.
Tosin.
Oh, Tosin.
Listen,
Prime.
You know what I mean? You know what it is though. The saucy
Can't
like,
differentiate from our black players.
Wait,
And he's like
Hey,
good defender, can't tell the difference.
Hold on, Marshall. Stop doing this. Can you tell the difference between Essien and Drogba, Marshall? Can you? Shut up, man.
Of course I can. Of course I can. Drogba gave us this clip. We'll never forget Drogba.
Marshall, you're wrong. That was Essien. You fraud,
What do you mean,
Marshall.
what's that from?
Is that the Champions League final?
Yeah, dude.
Which one?
The one where he
Oh,
scored
no,
the
The one that
Which one? When I say which one, are we talking goal or penalty?
The goal.
That was the header.
The header, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you
Like,
mean, which one?
Barry Neville creaming himself. Like, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing that at the time, you know.
He's doing that.
You know what? You know what it is, though, Marshall, man. You know, I'm not gonna say this. You know, if I said Toast is a whorehouse, Disasi is just like this gets a bitch. You know what I mean? Disasi just gets a bitch.
Sorry, what?
He just gets a bitch, man. You know what I mean? You know, like you know, like a LeBron poster. That's what he is, bro. LeBron just has him there and he just keeps on posterizing him, bro, every single time, bro. That's what it is, bro.
Listen, we were long overdue for a Casually Chelsea show to go left. We're not even an hour in. Usually this happens on the tail end of the stream. It's happened from the jump, so it is what it is. But I mean, on a serious note, I'm glad to see this. I think that the next initiative also should be South America. I think we're dabbling in both continents, in the African continent and the South American continent. There is talent to be there. I would be curious to see what kind of talent they can get from Asia as well. I'm sure there's plenty of Asia.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's rare.
And also, please don't go to India with this slogan of "Make India Blue" or "Make India Great Again," because I'm just gonna say,
what a lazy
a person of Indian descent. I'm just gonna say the optics once again are not gonna look great
so
when a
bad.
British company is
so
saying
bad.
"Make India Blue" or "Great" or what. I'm just leaving it there. I'm just leaving it there.
Yeah, let's
No,
give it up,
but
please.
CP, it's not just no, but it's not Cliff Prime's face, Ahmed. Okay, it's not just a British company; it's an American-led British company. America, Britain. Do you know what their histories are? Hey.
What were you gonna say, Scott?
I was just saying on the whole Africa thing. Like, I think it's a great idea. Like, getting back to some seriousness, I think it's a great idea. But if these guys had any, if these guys had any level of sense about them, they would partner with the Right to Dream Academy. Like, if they had any level of Right to Dream, it's the biggest academy in America.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned this before. Yeah.
If they had any sense,
that's the Ghana one, right?
Yes. They
already have a partner. I'm pretty sure.
I don't care. Like, move them out. Like, because the thing is like, you've got as well. If you can partner with the Right to Dream Academy, you've then got 2 more clubs to start sending players to on loan, darling, with the Right to Dream Academy. So it's like, you want to do this whole multi-club model thing? Cool. Partner with the Right to Dream Academy, and you can help achieve that. And you also get access to the best academy in Africa.
And that's something that has been worrying me on the like, you know, the low key side of things, is that I haven't heard anything in regards to expanding the academy, like, or not the academy, and expanding the multi-club model, I should say. Like, it's been very quiet on that front, and I mean, to what extent I understand. Obviously, buying a club isn't always going to be, you know, an option. These things are opportunistic buyings here. That's crazy. That's crazy.
The reason. Oh my god. Thank you. The reason why.
No,
the reason why it's
Marshall,
been quiet.
Ford Marshall, by the way.
The reason
no,
why,
not for the comment, bro.
No. Look at that. I don't care about the comment, like the picture.
No.
You know, Barcola was cooking today. That's all I'm saying.
It's fine. It's fine. No. Marshall, the reason why it's been quiet and we haven't heard anything, it's because I mean, up until the last, like I say, week or two, Chelsea have actually been doing well on the pitch, which stems back to everything I've been saying. If you do well on the pitch, no one cares about what's going on behind the scenes. It won't get reported.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's like,
if they're trying to buy a club
or something, man. Yeah.
If they're trying to, because what Scott was saying about like Africa and stuff, right? 2 of the best leagues in Africa is the South African League and the Egyptian League. I think those are great markets for young talented African players.
Oh, there it is.
He's got African Wi-Fi, man. So you know he's from Africa.
Right.
Did you not hear me?
No. You glitched out for a bit.
But yeah, like, Prime's right, but like this, I'll be right. I think the whole multi-club thing, in terms of like the I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just don't think that they're committed to it or whatever. Because like, Man City buy a new club every year or every 2 years.
Yeah,
They
they
still
make
do
it
that?
look easy.
Yeah, but they own like 11 clubs. They just bought one
We
recently.
own one, right?
Yeah, let me go and find
Yeah,
CFG.
we only own one.
What
Like, they
club
own-
did they just buy?
Let me go and see.
Because that I didn't hear about that.
You know what else it could be too? It could also be the fact that like, obviously with Boli, it's a consortium, and the consortium probably want to see like, hey man, I know you want to buy all these clubs, but like, can you get results with the one club and having a return on investment?
I mean, that's
before
fair
we
enough,
invest
isn't it?
more. When you think of it on the business side of things, like that might be why it's slowed down and
They
stagnated.
Prime. They bought. Well, I say they bought. They invested money into Istanbul Başakşehir in February of last year.
Goddamn, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like they own. These are all of the clubs they actually own, and then they've obviously have partner clubs. So they own City, Girona, Palermo, Troyes, Lommel, New York City FC, Mumbai FC, Melbourne City FC, Yokohama Marinos, Shenzhen Peng City, Montevideo, and Bahia, and then they're partnered with another 4 clubs.
Yeah, but like again, they've been doing this for over 10 years. So I think the fact that they bought Chelsea 2 years ago. Why is Marshall out?
Yeah. Because of this comment.
Yeah, about
Let's double
Mudryk.
down on Mudryk and buy Shakhtar.
I wouldn't. That would be great. That'd actually be fantastic.
Shakhtar's not actually a bad team.
No, but yeah, the fact of like they bought Chelsea 2 summers ago, and they own 2 clubs now. Like that's actually a good record. That shows they are trying to do this. So, they tried to also buy that Portuguese club, no,
and failed.
Yeah, but
No,
exactly
they tried to buy 3. They were apparently interested in 3 different Portuguese clubs and failed 3 times.
Yeah,
I think when it comes
trying.
I think when it comes to the big 5 leagues or the big it's big 5, right? Or is it big 6?
No, big 5.
Big 5. Yeah, I think when it comes to the big 5 leagues, like it's gonna be one of those situations where, and maybe because I think it was Surfer that asked why Strasbourg. It might be just one of those instances where like you have to wait for the right opportunity to come along and you can buy it because not everyone's trying to sell the club.
To be fair as well, Strasbourg, they literally only pay 60 million, bro. It's like a transfer fee, bro.
Yeah.
I get that, but
and also like the thing is, I'm not asking Marshall. I'm not asking for like a big 6 club.
Yeah, I get it.
Or a big 5 league. Like
that's why I said like even an MLS club wouldn't be a bad show.
I'm literally about to say that. Like this year, the season we're about to go into, they're adding their 30th team. Like Todd Bowley's from LA, or go and make a team. Go and invest in a team in the MLS. Like that's you can literally do that. Just go and pitch to MLS.
I mean, we're already getting so many talents from the MLS, and look at the talents that we scouted earlier, like Duran from Chicago Fire,
I'm a bit worried
as well
about
from
the
the
MLS.
MLS.
Yeah, either go and buy a team, or if you can't buy a team, because I don't quite know if that works, but go and make your own team. Like that's we talk about the right to dream. I talked about the right to dream. The people that own Right to Dream or the whole Right to Dream Academy, the whole people behind it are literally doing that. They've got San Diego FC that is joining the league this year.
There's talents.
City have New York City FC. Like the guy who owns the Chicago Fire also owns a Swiss team. Like the teams in MLS are doing this.
Yeah.
But again, like.
All right, thank you for
like,
that.
For example,
I thought I was
your
saying,
internet's
I
moving
think,
mad today.
yeah, you're moving. You wanna come out, come back in, bro?
No, that was my microphone.
No, that was actual.
No,
signal.
your internet's like it's been more laggy today than usual. It skipped like 4 times already today.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a small. Hold on.
Yeah. So, like, while Prime comes back, I was gonna say, I feel like
actually go ahead.
Because I was gonna say, I think my issue has been for the longest. So, and you guys have also said this for a while. Like the lack of expansion for like these multi-club models also does affect them. We're buying a lot of these young talent, but we don't have anywhere to take them. For example, right?
And that's my issue with the multi-club, because I see people talking about like the talent and everything. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking about talent. I don't care about talent. Talent will come with time and with you investing in the academies and investing in the youth development of these teams. That's going to come with time. But I'm just talking about teams to send your fucking players to.
Yeah.
Like, how great would it be? Okay, you have a team in Portugal or the MLS or Brazil. Cool. We just signed, I don't know, some kid from Ecuador. Cool. Instead of bringing him into this team or trying to find a shit loan to send him to, you're going to cancel after 6 months anyway. Go and send him to the MLS or to Brazil or to Portugal into a club that you know is going to play him because you've hired the coach and you've built the team.
And honestly, like that's a good shout, especially like MLS or South American team, because that genuinely, when it comes to these South American talents, is a natural progression, right? They go to a Liga NOS or they go to an MLS club before they go on and move on. Like look at John Durant, for example. You know, South American, then goes to MLS, then he goes up to Europe. You know, there's a natural progression there. No one, I wouldn't say it's rare, but not always do you have direct from Brazil or direct from Argentina, direct from Chile, direct from South America, straight to Europe, and vice versa too with Africa, I'm sure. But I mean, I think having the foundation to set up a funnel in terms of funneling in talents or funneling in or being able to just, like what Scott said, loan out your talents that you want to develop and have it go according to plan. I think it's smart, and I think we need to put time into that because it's been really quiet. We bought Strasbourg, and then it's been so quiet about the whole thing since.
I say this whole boy club thing as well. It's not an issue if you're not buying every like young South American kid under the sun.
Exactly.
Like, and that's because that's the problem. I don't know if we're going to talk about him later on in the thing in terms of Caicedo and the whole nonsense with him leaving and the money. That's a joke, by the way, a complete joke. But like that doesn't happen. That shit doesn't happen if you have like, because I've seen people tweet about this. It's like if you actually put the time and effort in to develop some of these players that you're getting, instead of buying 20 and then selling all 20 of them for like 2 mil profit, if you just sign 5 or 10 and are able to develop them and send them out to clubs, all of a sudden you can make 10 mil or 20 mil on them. All of a sudden you do. If you're doing that with 5 players, that's 50 to 100 mil you've just made off 5 players, rather than, I don't know, 20 mil off 20 players.
Big up Black Mamba. I appreciate the super chat, £5 super chat. Guys, I really want Isak, and I think 10 million pounds would get it done. Jack can rotate with him so we don't over rely on him. Who does this panel want for a striker? Big up Black Mamba for the super chat. We did talk about this yesterday, to be fair. And I'm gonna, there's gonna be a video that comes out on it. I'm gonna clip it up, but I guess to respect the super chat, obviously, because we do appreciate your super chat. I said 3 because I wouldn't mind Isak, but I think 150 is the asking price. I don't think it'll be 150 if we were to actually negotiate it. It'd probably dumb down to, I don't know if 110 would get it done, but 100 and maybe 25 to 130 could potentially. Even
Chelsea
then,
wouldn't do it either.
I don't think Chelsea would, and even then, I understand the player's really good, but he's also super injury prone. If you look at his injury record,
this season, though, really?
He has. He started the season off injured, or at least started. He
got
a fair
injured
early in the season. Yeah, because he's caught up. He's been scored. He scored 6 goals? He's scored 6 or 7 games in a row now. So he's been phenomenal. That's why he's had so many goals. But he was out for about a month, I think.
I mean, they wouldn't go any less than 100 mil probably because they spent 80 million on him.
I think they have actually current asking price of 150 million actually.
Yeah, which is insane. But I was thinking in terms of what's realistic, in terms of what I think would be best for the club. I think Nicholas Jackson in a few years' time will be the striker that everyone's going after and will potentially be a world-class striker. Quote me. I don't care. Clip me. Put it on Discord, like I said. But in order to have that flourish and to nourish that growth in Jackson, I think you need someone to compete with him, not someone to take his spot. And that's going to be, in my opinion, my opinion for choices is either a Osimhen, it's a Delap, and who was the third one I gave a shout to yesterday?
Jonathan David. That's what.
Jonathan David.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Jonathan David. Gyökeres, I'm hesitant about because of Liga NOS, and I saw Darwin Núñez do the same thing at Liga NOS.
Yeah, but for 65 million or so, I wouldn't mind taking that.
What?
Marshall, what does Jonathan David offer us? That's different.
I think Jonathan David okay, so my opinion on Jonathan David, why I would pick him. I rate Ligue 1 more than I rate Liga NOS. 2, he has similar attributes to Jackson in the sense that he can play in an attacking midfield position as well in a striking position. 3, he has shown consistency over the years that he can get double-digit goals and assists. So for me, and he has leadership ability as well. He is. He's not the captain of Canada, but he is in part captain or vice captain of Canada. So I think he has the leadership abilities in him. We do need leadership. He's experienced as well. That's another good caveat to add to that. I think there's a good player in there.
Isn't he good in the air as well?
Needs more competition.
Somewhat.
No.
Not like an Austrian. Not like an
everything.
Also, real quick.
I agree with all of that, but he's not.
Big up, Sunshine. Big up, Sunshine. I bet you're over the moon, Sunshine. No pun intended on that. Big up, Sunshine, for the raid. Appreciate it. All of you coming from Sunshine Raid. Big up to you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video because it helps out with the channel tremendously as well. And check out the links in the description. Memberships, all that fun stuff for more content. Everyone here has content that you can check out. So by all means, check it all out. Show support. Show some love. But go ahead, Prime. You were saying.
Yeah, all that about
Big up RSM.
Duran, or not Duran, Jonathan David, I agree, because, what's his name? Steve has been talking about Jonathan David for like as long as I've known him, and I rate Jonathan David. But the things that we complain about Jackson, you are also going to complain about them with Jonathan David. He doesn't offer an aerial threat at all.
Okay, that's fair. What are your everyone on the panel? Give your 3 or your number 1 choice for a striker if you don't have a 3.
I would just say I think for me, I know Martin wants a striker that's going to compete. He's on Jack.
Your microphone again.
Sorry, it's over here. That's why I need to speak directly into it. So
it's not that you go like weirdly. It goes like muffled. Like you put your hand over.
It's weird. Yeah.
No, it's because it stops. It's not an omnidirectional mic, so if he's not speaking at it, it's like sounds like he's far away from it.
Yeah, that's why. My issue is gonna be I want Jackson to improve. I want someone to compete with Jackson, but I do also have to question at some point in the next season we need to start competing for the league. Like whether we like it or not, whether any of us here like it or not, that has to come very soon. And can I rely on Jackson to be helping me in that aspect? And I know there's someone that's name was mentioned, Barry, but I feel like that's such a Chelsea signing that would happen, but I don't wanna jinx it, so I'm gonna keep his name quiet. He's the Villarreal striker, by the way. If that's what you're asking.
Real quick, CP, how long were you backstage for?
I just like 2 seconds ago, dude. Don't worry. I thought.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, bro, were you there for like 20, 30 minutes? I never noticed you, bro.
No.
Like the neglected child.
No.
Like David Washington in the back.
Yeah, no.
Marshall didn't want to give you minutes, man. I hear it.
Yeah, fair.
Marshall said we met the domestic court already.
Hey, this is Marshall making the late sub,
cashing
man.
in on me like Cassidy.
Marshall's making the 81st minute sub, man. I hear it.
You giving him 85 viewers.
Marshall said you got enough. Marshall said you got enough people here, man.
Yeah, you're getting the GU minutes, man. You're getting the GU minutes.
Oh shit. Ahmed, did you finish your choices?
So I was just gonna say, realistically, even though I would hate this guy to come to my club because I don't rate this guy at all, it would probably be Osimhen. I do not rate Jonathan David, and I will repeat, Jonathan David is a striker that upper mid-table club buys because he's scoring like 20 goals a season in some other different league, and that's what he is for me personally, bro. It's really as simple as that. I know people can say they like him or not, but he's not. For me, there's just something about him. Whenever I watch him, that he's just there's something not right there, bro. And like, I can't put my hand to it, but I know for sure, bro, he's a signing that we will regret again. But to each their own. I will always say I will eat humble pie and that. But if we need to get someone in now to help us compete and be ready, rather than having to do this thing of like rivalry and waiting for someone else to get better, we must get Osimhen, I'm afraid. Sadly, that's just what this comes down to.
Yep.
Brian, what are your choices? We'll go around the horn.
Yeah,
we'll get to you, Curry.
No, of course.
Prime, what's your number 1 or at least top 3?
Okay, I think it depends on how you want to look at it. If you think that next season we should be making signings,
Well, how do you look at it? What's your take on this?
I know that's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, gotcha.
I think if you're thinking about making signings, not just for a striker, but if you're thinking about making signings for us to really push for the title the next season, then for me in the summer, I think my number one would be Gyökeres. However, the price is crazy, and there's also Portuguese tax that you may have to weigh a factor in. However, he's been doing it for 2 seasons now. So
62 million in the summer. His buyout goes to 62 million.
I thought that too.
Yeah. Okay. So, but the Portuguese tax is something maybe to factor in, but he has been doing it for two years. I think it will end up being Osimhen, which I'll be fine with, and I think him and Jackson will be enough for us to actually push for a title for next season. However, if you're of the opinion of we're still a year away from challenging, meaning not next season but the season after, then I think we're fine with Jackson, and then you bring in someone like Delap. So again, it depends. If you think we go for next season, then go get me an Osimhen or go get me a Sesko, or not Sesko, a Gyökeres. Or if you guys still want to wait another year, then we can go with Delap and have Delap and Jackson develop.
Or the other.
So it just depends. So yeah, so it just depends, because I think Osimhen or Gyökeres would push Jackson twofold to be ready for next season. However, if you bring in a Delap, then they can both develop together for 2 years or 3 years. So that's my thought.
That was kind of my take with it. I'm looking at the development side of it, and if we can develop like two really world class, potentially world class, really good strikers, I'm happy with that. But
that's why the price for me is important, because I don't want to spend, even for Osimhen, I don't want to spend.
We've been burned by big
I don't want to spend the crazy money to have crazy expectations, because I know, knowing this fan base and knowing what the media is like, they just won't be able to.
Yeah, but
look at this little spell Jackson's been on.
My issue becomes, guys,
if that little spell that Jackson's not been scoring, if that's Osimhen or Gyökeres for 100 mil, the way they'll get dissected will be crazy. That's why yesterday when I spoke on Isaac, that I don't believe Isaac is that much better or even better than Jackson, because if Isaac this season was doing this at Chelsea, the way he would be under a microscope and people would be saying he's not world class, he's not
first injury,
good.
people would be like sell him.
Me and Prime.
Hold up. Not only that, I'm spitting, because I've said this before. When you play for a club like Newcastle, there have been times, even in the beginning of the season when he did come back from injury, he was not scoring. He got into the scoring once he scored against us.
Yes.
But before that, there was a lot of Newcastle fans saying, "Where's Isak? He's back and he's doing absolutely nothing in games."
The same with Watkins as well.
Yep.
And by the way, I rate Isak, I rate Watkins, but they're not at big clubs, so they're not being dissected.
The microscope ain't the same, bro. It is what it is.
Not the same. And so that's why I'm saying
Chelsea has a reputation for pressure.
That's why for me, I know the pressure is there. I don't mind that. But for me, the price matters, because if you bring in 100 mil striker, that's all you're getting labeled as. No one's gonna care about what you're doing in game. All they're gonna care is, well, you haven't scored for 4 games. Oh well, I already have. What does Jackson have? 8 goals already? 9 goals already?
9 goals in already.
9.
Jackson's been getting for opening the scoring for us. He's been scoring early in games. He's been winning us games, but because he hasn't scored for 4 games, if that's a 100 mil striker, that's getting dissected in a title race. Pressure for Chelsea. So for me, the price matters. So if I can get Osimhen for around 60 or Gyökeres for around 60, I'm taking that all day. I mean, push next.
I just wanted to say quickly, because I was interested in the discussion we're having about developing and stuff. But at some point in time, guys, we also need to have an honest conversation about, guys, we need to stop developing players and buy guys that are ready. Because, like, we can't keep, because if we start saying we're just developing, at some point, boys, we got to be like, developing's got to stop. And
bro, we're not. All due respect, we're not a feeder club, bro. I'm not on Development FC. That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's a whole different conversation that obviously I'd love to have, but then that'd take up the whole show. But I mean, RSM, what about your choice for strikers?
Yeah. So for me personally, I think that I'm of the same mindset as Ahmed, in the sense that, like, I think next season we need to be challenging, and if I'm of that mindset, and that's, I think, the unsaid thing that's probably being said by the management as well, and the owners, is next season they want to be challenging, then we need to bring in a striker who is going to be able to already perform at a top level, you know. And all due respect, like, Liam Delap is not it. He's not going to be doing that, you know. Durant does not have that experience. I need a striker that has experience in the big moments, that has experience at the top level. And I think Gyökeres is going to be the default, because I think a lot of clubs are going to go. I think a lot of clubs are going to be in for Gyökeres. So I don't know. But the one thing I'm looking at is I think Osimhen provides a lot of different aspects of the game that Jackson doesn't have. On top of the fact that I think because he's been playing in the Turkish league, I think, and the fact that he fired his agent, low key, we might be able to get a decent deal for him. Whereas we're not. Whereas with Napoli, bro, like with his old agent, that would have been a lot more impossible. I think maybe this time around it's gonna be a lot more feasible, because you can say what you want to say, but a year in the Turkish league is not helping your value. I'm gonna be so honest. You're not going from Italy to Turkey and then upping your value. It's not happening. So when I look at it from that angle, I think we're definitely gonna. I would hope that we go back for Victor, because at this point, like, next season, I don't need to bring somebody like I'd rather if we're going to start Jackson and Victor's on the bench, okay, fine. If Jackson is playing better than Victor, but if Victor's starting and we're bringing Jackson off the bench, sure, I could hear that. Or we use him for different games wherever their skill set is most useful, etc., etc. That's what I want to see, because I'm also very, very quickly losing my patience in seeing Neto put in these dime crosses and Enzo Fernandez or Cucurella jumping for them. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm literally going to lose my mind. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I would be as effective, bro. I'm sure I would be just as effective. Like, I'm seeing, like, bro, against Everton, why am I seeing Enzo Fernandez and Cucurella go up against 6'5" center backs for the ball? It's not happening. Neto's delivery is nice, but they're not getting to it. And in that sense, like, I bro, give me Vic, bro.
I think that was the plan, bro. I think that was the plan in buying Neto, because we were supposed to get Osimhen or Samu to be able to target those headers.
Wallahi, Samu,
that was the plan.
Wallahi,
Samu, bro, Samu. Yeah, they did listen to you, Ahmed. They did listen to you.
Ahmed, as much as I hate on you,
Damn,
they didn't cut out. I just hit on you.
Hold that, Ahmed.
By the way, you know Osimhen's price is 75 million euros after the loan.
I told you his price was gonna go down, bro. Nobody's
no,
price is going up.
You can look it up. Like, he has a release clause after the loan.
Release clause the second the transfer window ended.
Yeah. It happened.
The winter one is 65 million.
Yeah, 65 million pounds or something. Yeah.
And plus, guys, and this is why it's also, I think, very important that this season we are able to get Champions League, because then we don't have to do this whole ring around the rosy of your wages, etc., etc. We're gonna just be able to give the wages outright, pretty much. That's it. These are your wages when we're in Champions League. That's it.
Oh, I don't want to put Osimhen like on 300k straight away at Chelsea though. Still, I think like 200k and make him like earn his way up. Like, scoring,
well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but the things like
that's just down to the sporting director to be able to negotiate well with the player. That's what it just comes down to.
I think any new player joins, just if they're a good player like Osimhen, like 200k, and then they can earn like 250 to 300k if they score 20 goals or something.
Okay, Curry Pirate. I know one of your options, but what are the other two besides that one?
That's a good option.
What's one of them?
He knows it.
Jonathan David.
No, it's not. Actually, no, it's not.
Oh, wow.
That's not his number one.
Explain the Jonathan David take then.
That's not his number one.
Yeah, I said, here's the thing. Jonathan David, I still rate in terms of he's a fox in the box and all that stuff. But I think of him like a Loic Remy when we already have a Diego Costa. And we don't have a Diego Costa. That's what I see him as. He's the Loic Remy guy. But we don't have Diego Costa. So my number one would be Victor Gyökeres. I'm saying this because either Jackson fights or he gets moved to a different position. Because I said he could be, if we get a striker, maybe he could be our left wing goal scoring option.
Yeah,
because he used to play left wing. Because he's been playing left wing before he joined us, and he's gotten better at finishing after he joined us. So if you merge those two together, Fusion Ha, little Fusion Ha from Dragon Ball Z, maybe he becomes a goal scoring left winger for us. because I'm trying to figure out a way where we get that for a reasonable price, right? He's good at transition play. No, sorry.
Can he cut inside and shoot? That's a real question. Now I'm just joking.
Hey man, we'll find out, man. He's good in transition though, and he drifts in the left a lot. So yeah, Victor Gyökeres would be number 1. I would say Delap and Osimhen are number 2 for me, right? I think because either you develop Delap into being a second who can eventually challenge for first, because what is he on, like 6 or 7 goals for Ipswich?
Around that, yeah.
Right? That's pretty good
6,
for first season. Yeah, that's pretty
actually
good.
7. He scored today, didn't he?
Yeah,
or
that's
yesterday.
Today. Yeah. So like he's on 7. He's only like what 20, 19 or something.
21.
Lots to grow, lots to develop. Like if we were gonna do the whole growth route, that's a good backup to have who could challenge Jackson maybe the season after, when we're like we have to win the league. So like we can do that, or we do Victor Osimhen, which I think of like a Crespo signing when we had Drogba. Right, you challenge the guy, but I'll put it in that order. I wouldn't put Jonathan. Like I said, I'm glad he's a goal scorer and stuff, but we don't have Diego Costa, and he's a Loic Remy. So,
okay, fair enough. Oliver,
I don't really have 3 because my knowledge on striker is just really poor. I just want to repeat. I guess if I can, I just want to repeat the point before by RSM. It can't be a Liam Delap. Like that's not the level. If we're going for this title next season or a challenge or whatever, it can't be a Liam Delap. It's got to be a higher level. I'm just not. I'm not educated enough on strikers to give an opinion. Really, I just know it can't be a certain level. It has to be higher. So.
All right, fair enough.
No Chris Wood, no Liam Delap. Like respectfully, you feel me?
I disagree with the Liam Delap.
Wait, Arsenal, why not Delap? He's gonna end with double digits, and he's 19 in this first year of the league.
He's 21. He's 21, by the way.
No, okay, I get that, but my issue is the fact that we cannot be having 2 strikers around the same age, both developing, etc., etc. At this point, if next season we're saying we need to talk about winning the league, then I need a striker who has won a league, respectfully, minimum.
I mean, we had this discussion yesterday, RSM. You weren't here for it, but
Diego Costa, he didn't win a league before he joined us. I don't think so.
There's that, but we also saw Man City win a league without a striker.
And he's experienced.
It is possible to win a league. Like I mean, right now Liverpool are winning the league without a striker. They don't have an out-and-out striker right now. Like,
but they have an out-and-out goal-scoring winger.
But we know there's
we have an out-and-out goal-scoring Cole Palmer if he shows up. So.
No, it's not the same level.
It's not. I get it's not the same. But you could if you wanted to really make the argument. I'm not gonna.
Fuck.
What was that? All right, Chris. What are your striker takes?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it quick. I think Gyökeres, this season he seems to be improving from last season. He's the right age for my liking. He's like 25, 26. I'd take him. He's a really good striker. Even Champions League, I think he's done pretty fine as well. And Osimhen, because like he brings the heading ability and all that, the big striker and the box and all that, a proper number 9 really. I don't want to really go for like the lap or anything because I think Jackson's good enough to be like that, like second striker, developing striker. I don't mind Jackson as a player. So yeah, I only got really 2 strikers in there. Like maybe David Jonathan, like he scores a lot of goals, but do we really need him? Jonathan David, yeah.
Maybe he's giving you the US version, but they said the surname first and the first name
David Jonathan.
You know what I mean? He's giving you the US version.
I would say Nate Martinez, but he's fallen off a cliff this season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Lautaro. Oh, yeah, true. What happened to Lautaro?
Wait. Do you not mean Martinez Lautaro?
All right, fair enough. And best for last, obviously. Scott, what are your choices for a striker?
I'd probably say for me, Osimhen's my number 1, Gyökeres is number 2, and then Duran would be number 3. And that's mainly because I like him and like I'll be real.
Okay. You're the only one that said Duran. Okay, fair enough.
It's because I like him. I just like the way he plays with him. But like,
he's got really good technique.
Yeah, to be fair, the problem is I think that third option you could have like 4 different guys there, and it's like realistically speaking, we should ideally be going for one of the first 2. Like if the release clauses are what they're meant to be, and like they're going to cost as much as they apparently are, then there's no reason we shouldn't be at least attempting to speak to Osimhen again and speak to Gyökeres. Like I think it's reportedly both of them are within about 60 to 70 mil. Maybe, I think it's like 60 mil both of them for their release clauses. For me, that if that's the cost, bring one of them. I don't care.
Yeah, I think the overall consensus on the panel is Gyökeres or Osimhen. I think all of us had either Osimhen or Gyökeres in our picks, and most of us had both.
Why Gyökeres? Why is everyone like glazing Gyökeres? Like,
He's been doing really good.
I'm sorry to tell you guys, yeah.
Because he has 21 goals in 17 games.
If Samu is giving you 11 out of 12 currently, I don't know.
Oh, but he's
hang on.
You said 11 and 12, but we just said.
I actually agree. Ahmed, I actually hold on.
What do you do, Ahmed?
I almost kind of actually agree with you, and I wanted to actually ask after all this, I wanted to ask you on Samu how much it would cost to buy him in the summer. Bro, but my thing is this, right? For me, yeah, I know, but for me, with the fact of we all agreed,
man, rebuild it.
The fact that we all agreed on our top 2 strikers, it shows that the striker we want to bring in for next season.
That was crazy picture. That is a crazy screen.
Yeah.
It's when you froze.
I don't know.
You froze.
The striker that we're bringing in, he needs to have like an experience of actually winning, and he needs to be a leader. He needs to be someone that like has been there, done it. That's not going to shy away. That's why Osimhen and Gyökeres make sense. Sammy, as much as I like him, he hasn't done that. He's going to be the same as what a Jackson is, still developing.
Yeah, and I get that argument. It's really I guess for me, speaking for myself here, I think I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to accept that we can score goals in all around the attack, not just from the striker. And so I'm willing to just, have 2 potentially world-class strikers that develop. Because, like, I will say it again.
Sorry. We have goals all around the pitch since fucking when? It's only Palmer and Jackson. Neto's never scored more than 5 goals in this league. Madueke is on 5 goals.
Did I say we have goals all around the pitch? I thought I said I'm strongly that we can get goals all around the pitch. But, I mean, in an ideal world,
Enzo can get a few goals. I think Enzo's maybe... He's got like... Wait, hasn't he got like 7?
For now he does.
Wait, 5 or 6 in the league, sorry.
Yeah, they're dried up.
No.
What?
I swear he
my point being is that, like I said, I'm a strong believer that we can get goals all around the pitch. That's what I said. Not that we currently have it, but and we've seen City win the league without a striker. We're currently witnessing Liverpool winning the league without a striker. And although they do have a goal scoring winger who is probably currently the best player in the world. And yeah, like I can be patient with that, and if in the long run I get 2 really, really, really good strikers that have a lot of really high potential, like a Jackson or like a Delap or a Duran or whoever it may be, then that's cool. I'm good for that. I like that idea. But I also understand like getting a striker that is going to get you goals and is going to have an immediate impact. So I get it. So oh my God, big up SDFC Benny for the $5 super chat. Marshall smoking bougie baton on an empty stomach. I don't know what that is.
You said that so wrong. You said that so wrong. It's beautiful, man.
Bougie Banton. Banton.
Bougie Banton.
Sounds like
so wrong.
It's an artist actually. Funny enough, but he's also could be called another synonym for weed. That's what it is, bro.
Okay. I do like weed. I ain't gonna lie.
That's why Marvel's so delusional. Again,
speaking of delusion, I do want to, since we are on the striker topic, I do want to integrate the next topic, which is a bit of a striker update and a bit of news on the striker front, in and outs, and so on and so forth. To start off this segment, I do have an interesting chart that we'll come back to at the end of me reading some of these tweets, but I think it's a really interesting one. So this is Chelsea's non-penalty XG for and against trend over time. And holy shit. I guess the blue is the goals for, and the red is against, the XG against, and the XG for. Under Tuchel, under Potter, under Lampard, under Pochettino, and then under Maresca. So we'll come back to this. I think this is really, really interesting one.
fuck
But
am I
onto the news. We'll go over in a second. Onto this in regards to the news of our current strikers right now. Chelsea are perfectly pleased with the striker setup, with Jackson ahead of Nkunku and Guiu, the 18-year-old who is currently the top scorer in the Conference League with 6 goals in just 284 minutes played. Chelsea are happy with their strikers, and Nkunku is going to have to swallow up any unhappiness as Chelsea are not expecting to sanction his exit and will be needed if Jackson gets an injury. Chelsea are not actively looking to send Mark Guiu on loan unless he pushes for a move. Christopher Nkunku is rumored to be frustrated with his lack of first-team action. Do not expect to see Chelsea sanction his exit in January. If Jackson picked up a problem, Nkunku would be needed, so he will have to swallow any unhappiness for now. Just in as well, this is end of December. Chelsea will consider Nkunku's situation only if the player goes to them and says, I want to leave, because otherwise Chelsea want to keep him. Board owners Mahrez could consider him an important player. Let's see in the next few weeks if some club can tempt the player, or maybe Chelsea with important money or swap deal. It's up to Nkunku to decide what he wants to do next in his career. All depends on the player if he's unhappy or not, which, I mean, listen, if we get through December and we don't hear about this, maybe that says a lot about where Nkunku's at, and maybe he actually does want to fight for his place in the first team. But we continue. And a rumor here is Nkunku has emerged as a target for Arsenal. He wants to leave Chelsea this winter. And to be fair, he's emerged as a target for a lot of teams, not just Arsenal, probably United as well in there. Going back to this, so game after game, Scott, since you did ask, game after game, this was where our expected goal was, the blue, and the red was the expected goals against. So under Tuchel, we had an average of, I want to say, an average of 1.5 to 1.5 to 1.75 xg, with a dip here. This is probably, this is the January dip where we lost Reece and Chilwell. And then our defense was pretty solid. That's why we didn't concede too many expected goals against.
Look at Potters, man.
Potters is really bad. Potter, oh my God. Potter had more expected goals against than expected goals for, and turned it around for a little bit and then got sacked. Then Lampard, oh my God, this doesn't even have a... Lampard doesn't even have... Oh, but this is the season, so you can put the line
I really
here.
wish we had Lampard's actually, when he first joined.
Oh my God, bro. Lampard's one is
because we could see a lot of shots.
Pochettino was up, down.
Yeah.
It got really close in the middle here. And then finally towards the end, which is this part here is what everyone wants to remember. The Pochettino inners, they want to remember this little patch here where we're like, yeah, we're doing really good. But honestly, most of the season was this big chunk.
It's like the Tuchel. That's like the Tuchel inners. Want to remember the earlier parts. You know what I mean?
The earlier part of Tuchel is right here. It's not that bad.
I mean, that's not true, man. You know,
the earlier part of
it was like 5 points.
You are crazy, bro.
A bit more to the
You
right,
are crazy. This is Potter. This is Potter.
That
what are you talking about?
No, it wasn't
Potter starts.
That is Potter's. He was so bad.
Potter starts right here. This goes from match day 0 to match day. I want to say this is match day 7 or 6.
These Tuchel inners, man.
No, if we didn't have Tuchel that season, we could have got relegated, maybe.
Yo, and I'll be honest, obviously this is from December 30th, right? Not taking into account the recent matches, but the gap between expected goals against and expected goals for is, I would say it's somewhat similar to Tuchel's.
Not as good though, still.
Not as good yet, but I mean Tuchel has a bigger sample size, right, Chris? So
true.
So there's that. But I mean, I think this is a really interesting chart. It shows to me that we made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes here in the middle. But if this keeps going, then we are in the right direction. But that's saying that for now. We don't know what it's going to be like after more of the rough patch that we're currently going through. But however, Nkunku currently not really throwing his toys out yet. There's still a chance that, it's very likely he's going to stay. And Marguiu staying here on loan. I mean, a few topics here to discuss. By all means, whoever wants to take this topic by the scruff of the neck, by all means, go ahead.
I think we're
sure.
Sure,
I can talk about taking scruff of the neck because Nkunku's not doing it. So at least I'll do that job because Nkunku's not doing that with the striking position right now. I'm fine with him leaving at the end of the season. I don't care who to. If he's not good enough for us and he's good enough for another team, fair enough. That's fine, but he's not working for our system. So yeah, I'm fine with him leaving. Them saying they're happy with the striker decisions. It's going to be all about hindsight because if at the end of the season we don't make top 4 and don't get Champions League, then these people are going to look like complete idiots. And if we make top 4, then it's like, okay, fair enough. That's good enough for top 4. We can sell them off in the summer, like it sounds like we're going to do, to get another striker, depending on Delap or whoever we get, and, you know, progress from there. But it's all going to be about hindsight if we make Champions League or not.
Yeah. I also think it's like, that's why I'm saying also, when we'll talk about other players, certain players aren't going to leave Chelsea. It's pretty much right now with how the depth is moving and the injuries that are happening.
But whose fault is that, Marshall?
What?
Whose fault is that, though, that some players aren't leaving the club?
Well, you could say that it's the sporting director's fault, right? It's poor recruitment, obviously poor planning in terms of you didn't find the manager you wanted in Nebraska sooner, and so you didn't plan accordingly for his style of play. So now he's stuck with some players that maybe don't suit that system.
That's incorrect answer there. That was the incorrect answer.
What is your answer?
No, the sporting director was the correct answer, but the justification you gave was the wrong answer. The problem is that some of the players they've actually brought this season are about to leave already. KDH is possibly going to West Ham already, bro.
Yeah, but we sat here and we discussed. It's very likely that was like a PSR signing.
That's shit.
That's shit, bro. We don't need a PSR signing if it's.
So we were supposed to be on midfield depth.
Yeah. By
the way, that PSR signing, we made 6 million off the guy we sold. So we made a loss overall because we signed KDH for 30 million.
Yeah, and if you're going to pay 30 million for KDH, then you could have just paid 10 more million for Hermansen, and we wouldn't have to even worry about this Sanchez bullshit.
But wasn't there an issue with the Herman? Oh, but the issue with the Hermansen thing was that we had.
Money. No, we didn't.
But we also had goalkeepers. We wanted to save face with Robert Sanchez.
No, we didn't get Jorgensen then. We were
we
like
didn't
with
get
as a first thing. Just like with KDH,
Yeah.
it was early on, and we didn't want to pay the 40 million that was valued by Leicester at the time.
But do some of you think that maybe it has to do with that English quota?
No, we have enough players.
We have guys. We have guys in
players.
the academy, bro. We have Tariq George. We've got what's his name? Raksaki, Shin Maheka, a bunch of other young academy.
Tolson's homegrown.
Marshall, remember when we bought KDH? Remember when we bought KDH? Remember I said, and I've been saying this for months, that it's pure profit will sell him to West Ham, and now he's being linked to West Ham. Like these guys, Scott and CP and Ahmed are right. Like, if it's just for the English quarter, we have young academy guys, Josh Atchingpong, for example.
By the way,
who is good enough to fill that. If it's for the fact of we had to buy someone from Leicester, Hermansen is the goalkeeper that Maresca actually wanted to buy. He's the Leicester player that he wanted to buy, but the board said no because of Sanchez and whatever bullshit. Even though Petrovic is out on loan and is better than Sanchez.
By the way, on the registration thing, it's not English players, it's homegrown players. We already have 10, not including what's his face, KDH, because Sanchez counts and Lavia counts, even though they're not English because they're homegrown. So we have 10, and you need 8.
And we have games with Tolson and Madueke and Palmer.
Sanchez counts as a homegrown player.
Yeah, he came through Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton homegrown. Long enough.
Okay.
And the same with Lavia because he came through City's academy. It's the reason why, despite being Dutch, Matson counts for us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they were developed within the youth system. Yeah.
You just have to have spent. You basically just have to have spent at least 3 years in a English academy before the age of 21.
Yeah, it's the same way that Ake
okay.
counted as well and Sessa. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's like more. Like, I'll be real. If you count all the guys in our whole squad, we've got like 15, but I didn't include the ones that either probably aren't registered because they're not playing or don't have to be registered because they're that young.
But
Would
you know,
David Washington, would he count as homegrown?
He will eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
Not yet.
He has
one
to
more
do it
year.
in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he needs one more year before that. Yeah,
But
it
on-
counts.
Quickly on the transfer thing and the striker thing. Quickly, like, and Kunku can go. He probably won't. But he can leave. I don't care. And thing with Hugh, I'm not surprised he's staying. The only team that have expressed any interest in him taking him on loan is Sevilla, and they are about to finalise a deal for a striker. So I wouldn't send him there anyway at this point, because he'd be like 4th choice in a team that plays one striker. So, yeah, and yeah, it's just actually the other thing I want to say, Marshall, on what you said, the whole thing, by the way, that you said about they needed to get Maresca sooner, they didn't know what type of system he's going to play. Like, that's nonsense. Like, if you're hiring a manager and you don't know the type of system he's going to play, that's a very huge red flag. That's the biggest red flag you can ever get in football, if you're about to hire a manager and you don't know what style of football he's going to play.
But I mean, I guess when I said that, what I meant
But that makes
is
sense,
that
Scott, by the way.
what I meant was that they didn't hire the manager. You're good, Prime. They didn't hire the manager that they were gonna get long term. Like then
that's dumb as well.
Wait, what?
I mean, yes
Isn't
and no.
Maresca- you can't dress up in a long-term
Wait,
signing.
hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain.
You're doing
What
a
I'm trying to
terrible
get
job of
at.
explaining so far.
I'm
Just
doing
gonna
a
put
terrible
that out
job. I know. I'm doing a terrible job hosting the show today. Period. But what I mean by that is that I need context, right, for why these sporting directors went the route they went about. Because, okay, Graham Potter was supposed to be that long-term project, but they didn't pick Graham Potter. Todd Bowley did, and Todd Bowley picked him because Graham Potter happened to be the flavor of the month at Brighton when Tuchel was going through a bad patch of form. Whatever. Todd Bowley made that mistake. So then the sporting directors come in and they decide that, okay, Pochettino, we're going to sign you for 2 years plus 1 extension, I believe. So it was 3 years.
Fuck Poch.
That yeah, obviously, fuck Poch. Hold on. I got you.
I am not a clown.
Mauricio, I can't.
Wait,
so
Ahmed,
Big up
sorry,
to Lemon,
no,
man. Big up to Lemon.
Ahmed, what did you say?
He said Pochen.
It's banter, bro. Chill, man. Chill.
Yeah, man, speak on
Yo,
it. Speak on it.
Yeah,
Brian was
he didn't
taking
wanna
it
take
back.
the smoke.
I want
He
the
didn't wanna
He
take
was
the
taking it back.
I want the Lemon man back, man. I want him to take all the way the bad juju from the lemon.
But at least, Jesus. But to me, the 2 year plus 1, if the directors gave him that, then the directors never really believed in him and they wanted to see what he could do versus what they did with Enzo, which is give him a 5 year. So maybe, and this is me probably cutting these directors a lot more slack than they deserve. Not that I'm trying to do this, but logically, if I'm thinking, why would I go this route? Maybe I went this route because the right manager and profile wasn't available at the time. So I'm going to go for what I do see available, which is a Pochettino or some guy who has experience, something to bring into the club. Nagelsmann was linked. We had Enrique linked as well. Maybe that's what the reasoning was around it and why they went the way they went about it. That's the best thing that I can come up with.
If I may, Marshall, if I'm not mistaken, guys, you can correct me, of course, yeah. Do you know Nagelsmann, right? Wasn't the issue of Nagelsmann that they didn't want to accept what he was coming in with? No,
he wanted more control. He wanted more control,
and it was the same. And Enrique gave them like a full-on 2-hour PowerPoint saying that he wanted some.
He said replace all of our wingers, Enrique did.
Yeah, he basically said he wanted completely new wingers.
Yeah, except for basically Ziyech, who apparently for some reason he rated, which of course, man, you know what I mean? Red flag, of course.
But yeah, that's essentially why I think it's very possible, Scott, they didn't go from Maresca from the jump and they went to let's do Potter. Let's see if he could be a placeholder.
Marshall, the reason they didn't go for Maresca for the jump is because if we'd have hired him the season we got Pochettino in, he would have had about not even 6 months. He'd have had about half a dozen games or a dozen games worth of managerial experience managing in Serie B for Parma.
But okay, let's just I get that, but also at the same time, let's say it wasn't Maresca, who was a hot commodity at the time? Let's say at the time that we went for Amarim, right? We were linked with Amarim, but we didn't bite the bullet on that one. Let's say we had gone for an Amarim, or we had gone for a Xabi Alonso before he went to Leverkusen. You know, that's the part that kind of doesn't make sense to me. Like, if they wanted to go this route of getting a manager to build a project with and build a style of play and get players to fit that style of play, I don't understand why they didn't have time to do it during Podge. Why they had to settle for Podge. But
no, because they thought they were getting a style of play in the Podge, and then he decided to he threw the baby out with the bathwater when Nkunku got injured. And literally changed everything.
Weird to me because, like,
and I'll be real. I'll be so honest.
Scott can know that Pochettino had no style of play at PSG either.
He had a style of play at Spurs, and he had a style of play at PSG. Was it a good style of play? No. Did it really work? Not really. But like, if he'd have done what he was doing at Spurs, it could have worked. Also, if they wanted someone to play a similar style of play,
Scott is right by terms of when he was.
If you wanted a similar style of play that you were going to get under Maresca, you could have got De Zerbi. Like,
De Zerbi's another.
There were other options, but it's like
Scott was right about what he said yesterday about the squad planning. Because I was thinking about this, right? Because part of squad planning is not just about signing your players, but making sure you get the right manager. So you brought in Graham Potter. To be fair, like, as much as I never rated him highly, Potter is a good coach. And to be fair, if we had got rid of the bad squad and gave Potter that summer, he would have been a good manager to start off this process with. But whatever happened. Then you try and go for a young coach that's developed a young squad before, and they go bring in Poch without really looking at his CV after he had left Spurs, without looking in depth to what happened at PSG, or even looking at how it ended at Spurs. All they saw was, let's go for a manager who's developed a young team before, which Poch had. And even the squad Poch had last season, as much as I hate the guy, the Poch didn't fully suit what he wanted. But then again, he comes in anyway. He starts off well in preseason. We're playing what he wants to do. We're playing his way. One injury, and all of a sudden he switches everything. Then go bring in Maresca, but this squad doesn't even fully suit what Maresca wants to do, because you have a goalkeeper that can't even really play out of the back properly or do anything. You have only one fullback that can really invert. Your other fullback is injury prone. Your other fullback is Gusto. You don't really have any quality center backs. Half are injury prone, half are brain dead. You have no midfield depth because Santos and Leslie you sent out on loan. You only have one striker because you don't play you, and Nkunku is not a striker. Like, the squad planning, Scott is right. It's been poor. Yes, there may be talent in the squad, but in terms of actually being able to play together within the system the manager wants, it doesn't work.
Yep. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I almost laugh when they didn't get Maresca last season, bro. I think Maresca would have thrown hands on the pitch with Sterling. If Maresca had to witness what Sterling was doing last season, he might have committed murder on the pitch. I'm gonna be so serious, bro. Like,
wait, did we want Maresca last season?
No, I'm just saying.
Like, in a hypothetical,
Maresca was one that,
like, yeah. Like, if we did get Maresca, would have killed Sterling.
100%. I think, like, again, as much as I didn't want Potter and I hated the guy, like, we probably should have stuck and built with him. However, Potter came in, tried to play his way, saw it wasn't working with these shit players, and then he adapted to the shit players, and that cost him his job, really. Like, I think with Maresca, like, even if we don't get top 4 on Maresca, maybe it depends how the season ends, but you have to still somewhat stick with him. And
you know what's crazy?
Build the squad properly.
But I disagree with this whole squad planning not good enough. I'm sorry. In Maresca's whole Leicester team. No. I disagree with it not fitting this team. Because we have center backs that are supposed to be ball playing center backs in Colwell, which is supposed to be good enough to do that. We have, and with
only one.
No, Fofana's supposed to be at least decent on the ball.
Yeah,
so
but
that's
he's
the whole
injured and
promise.
he's injury
And
prone.
and
he's
also
injury
Towson
prone.
and also Towson's supposed to be good on the ball. That's why he came from the Man
And
City Academy, and he had high percentage. He had good passing percentage for a defender, and we got him on a free. So you can't say it was bad in terms of that. I can get in terms of quality. I can agree. Second of all,
Well, yeah,
you're
that's
saying
why I'm talking about quality, though.
No. You're talking about the profiles weren't good enough. You're saying
No. I'm talking about
no, because you
quality.
said they were brain dead and all that. And I'm saying no. He wants.
No, because they are. Because when they brain dead exaggeration, but they're not good enough in terms of the quality. Because Sanchez, profile wise, is a ball playing goalkeeper, but he's not good with the ball.
Yes, but then you also saying we only have
for and expected goals
But
against.
you're also saying we only have one fallback. He only wants one fallback to invert, and it was majority of the time Pereira for him in Leicester, and that's what he's doing with Cucurella.
But inverting whether in midfield or part of the defense, Gusto hasn't worked in midfield, and even when he's played as part of the defense this season, hasn't been that good.
Yes, but you're saying,
yes,
but Cucurella. But the whole thing is Cucurella does. And it's
yes,
his choice.
we only have. I know,
yes,
but we only have one.
But we only need one. He only had one last season, right?
Yeah,
and Pereira,
I know
who was
he
an
did.
injury-prone player.
No,
that
CP,
was
did you
healthy
listen
for
to what I
most of the season.
said? I said
Yes,
we have one that can invert. Yes, but the other has to play as part of the defense, and they can't do that. Only Reece can, and he doesn't stay fit. Gusto can't do either in midfield or part of the defense.
You're saying that now, but last season when we were like, oh, we got such a good backup right back. Actually, he's been one of the best right backs in the league as a whole last season. I didn't expect the fall off to be dog shit.
Nor did I, but that was part of a different manager and different system.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying you're saying he can't do either. I would have said in preseason he could at least defend. That's what I would have said. I would be like, okay, that's fine.
Bro,
so I can't blame him for that.
Squad planning now because we're playing a different. If we had brought in a manager that plays with like fullback that love to bomb forward, then that's fine. But we didn't. We brought in a guy that's a completely different philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying Gusto's also shit at defending when he wants.
That's part of the squad planning.
The defensive player. How is that part of squad planning? They didn't decide that. Oh, this season Gusto's also going to be shit at defending.
Well, no, I get what Prime is saying. I get what Prime is saying because Prime is saying like, if let's say for example, because I wanted to bring it back to the Potter comment you said, Prime, which to an extent I agree with, but after seeing this, I'm thinking like maybe I don't remember that season right. Because what I remember of that season, well, let me just explain. What I remember from that season is that Potter set us up in a system, right? That we weren't conceding that many goals. We were losing 1-0s or 2-1s or something like that. Like we were losing by very fine margins, but we had chances and we weren't creating that many chances or weren't clinical enough, right? And in that system, Gusto would have been fine because he's not being asked to invert, right? And that's what he's saying, Curry Pirate. Whereas in Maresca's system right now, Gusto is being asked to do a different role than what he's used to, which is a traditional fullback.
No, but some games he's not
role.
asked to do that. Some games he's not because Cucurella is a guy who does inverting and link up play with Sancho. Some games he's just is supposed to be the more defensive right back, not bombing up to right wing. It's his dumbass deciding to do that shit. I'm pretty sure the manager is just not like, hey, let's make Gusto stay at right wing so Neto has to do shuttle runs.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think can I go, Prime, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I think what we need to realize that I feel like this season, I think it's fair to criticize. I think Gusto's performances, right? But at the same time, I also feel kind of like a little bit sorry for him because he's trying to learn a new position which is being given to him, and then I think it becomes a bit problematic where 1 week you're doing this and another week you're doing that, and it's like you keep on. He's almost getting chopped and changed. Yeah, particularly at a young age that he's at. Yeah, to do something. I think that's where I think we've been a little bit unfair to Gusto at the very least. But like,
I agree with you, Ahmed. I agree with you, and I used that point actually to defend him earlier in the season. So this is not me dunking on Gusto. People know, like
I know, bro. Yeah, I get what you mean.
I'm not dunking on him, but I'm just saying, squad planning wise, like you bring in players to really suit a squad perfectly. Gusto doesn't perfectly suit Maresca's system. As much as I love him, like it doesn't make sense that he's here. But in saying all of that, they should have brought in a manager that then actually properly suits the squad that we have as a whole. And I don't necessarily think they've done that. I like Maresca, by the way. I love him, but in the summer they have to go and rectify a lot of things. They have to go and fix a lot of things.
Agreed with that.
Obviously, in hindsight, right now, we could probably sit here and say that it may have been the safer bet to have stuck with just Graham Potter. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, this patch is horrible. We went through the trenches with Graham Potter. It was really, really a bad season. But towards the latter half of the season, the performances were improving, but the results weren't there. And this is what the chart is showing me, the stats, if you want to call it that. Obviously, eye test is different. But according to these stats, right, we're looking at the expected goals around game week, around February, right? Where the expected goals for Chelsea finally rose above expected goals against. And so we were expected to score more goals than concede. And unfortunately, the results just weren't there to keep Graham Potter in a job. But maybe had he stayed and had we actually... Because let's be honest, Lampard came in and it wasn't that much better. It was just about the same bullshit, right? And if anything, more expected goals against.
Marshall, that was the plan, by the way, to keep him... Because remember, they kept saying, we're sticking with Potter, we're backing him. They were supposed to keep him until the end of the season and then give him the summer to rebuild it. But results got so bad, performances got so bad because they were watching from the stands. That's why he had to go. And I'm not even doing revisionism because I hated Potter when he was here. But even I saw that, you know what? This isn't his fault. These guys.
Kai Havertz was absolute shit.
Playing.
Mason Mount was shit up until he got hurt.
The stat that we're looking at, all right, this data. All right, give Potter last season's squad. Do you think we're going half the season in mid-table? No.
I think this chunk here of Potter was probably going to be a continuation. Because right now, when you look at Pochettino's season, bro, expected goals against is the highest it was out of all the other season outside of Potter's bad patch of form, right? For a good chunk of last season, we were conceding a lot of chances.
But can we add a little bit of necessary context? That's what I like to call it.
Sure.
Necessary context. Potter's season, he was playing Gallagher, Broha, and Mason.
He had
Mount
shit.
He had shit.
That's all he had.
No backing.
No backing, no nothing. We'll just get. He was.
No.
He was taking it. He was taking it raw. Pause. Literally, there's no other way.
No, hang on. He chose to play that front three, by the way.
No. But that was before. Listen, that was before obviously the transfers, isn't it? So I'm trying to give him a little bit of leeway.
That wasn't
initially.
He played that front three when he had options. He had other options.
No. I'm talking about the Newcastle game specifically, Scott. I'm just
he had
talking
other
about
options.
the initial
play a front three. You did not.
Who did he have then? Because a lot of our guys were injured.
At the time, he had Dr. Fofana, right? We also
not against Newcastle.
Not against Newcastle.
Post January, we had Datro, Madueke, and Mudryk. But again, do you remember how we had
João Felix?
He had Badiashile playing his best football.
But remember we had a massive squad. We had players changing outside the changing rooms and stuff.
I remember we had the older
you laugh, but
forgot about that, yo.
Maybe Potter wasn't allowed to drop certain players and certain.
I mean, he had Igbali coming into the fucking changing room.
Why are we doing this revisionist nonsense? And this is coming from
I'm
someone.
not doing revisionism. I hate revisionism.
Why are we? Potter needed to be sacked.
No, Scott. Again, but I'm not even saying I don't agree. I hated Potter. I'm not doing revisions.
Potter went too soon.
My point, but my
no, we didn't.
My point, but okay. Ignore Ahmed, please. But my point being is that your point with squad planning, I agree, because part of squad planning is also having your manager, and we've had. Oh my god! And we've had 3 different managers with 3 vastly different philosophies.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to correct something Ahmed said, and this is how much he was talking out of his arsehole. On the bench that Newcastle game where he played a front three in that Newcastle game where he played a front three of Gallagher, Mount, and Broja, we also had on the bench Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic, who came on at half time, and Aubameyang.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Yeah, let's be honest. At the time, the reason why I'm saying that he's played those three, Havertz was playing doo for Cocoa Puffs.
I don't give a shit.
Realistic.
I don't care. There is no point.
He was
really bad.
I don't care.
No, he was bad, bro. What we doing?
I don't care how bad Havertz is. At no point should you play a front three of Broja, Mount, and Gallagher. That's disgraceful.
Listen, Gallinha.
It wasn't even Broja, Mount, and Gallagher. It was worse than that. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was that.
Like,
Broja
Broja
was
It was that.
It was exactly that. It was a disgrace.
That, man. People were calling that the axis of evil. Do you know?
That was Broja's last game before his ACL injury.
No, I thought it was Havertz, Mount, and Gallagher.
I've got it here.
No, you're thinking of Brighton. You're thinking of Brighton.
Evil's killing me, bro.
Oh, that Brighton game was bad.
Brighton was when it was Mount, Havertz, and Gallagher.
Look, by the way, you know what's crazy? Gallagher and Mount were part of the Axis of Evil and the Bermuda Triangle, bro. That's disgusting. I'm so glad we got rid of them, bro.
No, man, keep hitting.
I don't understand, by the way. I don't understand why we're talking about Potter either.
No, it's just
I kind of I jumped in and I was like, oh.
No, the reason why I'm talking about Potter is that I'm agreeing with what you've been saying, Scott, about squad planning. Because part of your squad planning is your manager, and having three different managers with three vastly different philosophies is crazy. You should have some consistency.
You can actually take. So I'm gonna say manager one specifically, which is Potter. If we're talking about trends, right? Manager one Potter and manager three Maresca. I would actually argue in terms of what their style of play is, their philosophies. I would actually argue 1 and 3
is kind of similar.
It's very similar, right? But the thing was, I would argue manager number 2 got given pieces which essentially fit both number 1 and number 3, though, right? It just didn't fit his style, Prime. Does that make sense? So
but that's my point, that you can't go that drastic. Like it doesn't make sense. You either the guy you bring in after Potter has to be similar to Potter in style, or the guy after Poch has to be similar to Poch in style.
Yes,
well, I say
that was basically the fundamental issue with Poch. I know we can disagree about his tactics and stuff like that, and the elements that he was bringing to the players to help them grow and stuff. But like the reality was, guys, he wanted running man, guys that did not have tech. That's what he's singers, bro. People that run. That's what he wanted, bro. Yeah, and our squad was full of technical players, bro. The only runner we had, and you saw that season, was Gallagher, and look how well he did at that season, bro.
Bro, look at the young players from our academy we've seen this season. We've seen Raksaki, George, Mweka. Why is it last season we saw Gilchrist?
To be fair,
you know what, man? I'm not even gonna hate on Lucas, man. Lucas is playing well, so like I can't even.
Man, shut up.
Poch, Poch, man. You have to show some respect to Poch, yeah.
Oh my god, bro. What do we?
To be fair, last season we saw Achimpong as well. Like we was bro.
No. But towards the end of the season, bro.
It's because Poch ran out of bodies, bro.
I was gonna say it was a case of bros. It was which player is playing this week.
Yeah, but
the Satanists ran out of sacrifice, bro. I hear it.
Bro. What happened to Golden?
He's
got sold. He's the dude who got sold to Leicester.
I thought Poch killed him, bro.
No, Scott. My point is that
he didn't survive Poch.
Gilchrist, who's like 5'11", a centre back, was playing at right back for us last season. When we had Achimpong, we could have done it. Is my point.
But look at Gilchrist right now. Sheffield United playing right back too, doing a great job.
He's in the championship.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if he's in the championship or not.
He's in the championship, well done.
But he's hooping. Listen, guys from championship are quality players, man. Shout out Jackie Clark. You know what I mean? If you know, you know.
Oh man, this glazing is weird, man.
Don't wink at me. Don't wink again. But on the squad building, I've been talking about this for time with the squad building and these sporting directors and the bullshit they've been doing. That's why this whole the way they've built the squad in terms of like profiles. They've built the issue is not profiles. The issue has never been with this club and this sporting directors profiles. They find the right profiles. It's a talent thing. Every single one of our centre backs is ball playing centre backs. Every single one of them. It's just most of them are shit. the outside of Gusto, the thing with Gusto is even though he's not an inverting fullback, he's young enough to learn. He's just not learning. That's not a Maresca problem. That's not a sporting director problem. That's a him problem that he's not learning. He's played enough in that position and being asked to do the same things in games, and he's just not learning. And defensively, as we've said, he's been shit this season.
I also think his confidence is shot as well, which also doesn't help. But if he had a manager, this season that was playing with fullbacks that like hug the touchline and bomb forward, I think he would still have his confidence.
But he's shit going forward as well. Like we're not. I'm not defending. He's been shit. He's shit going forward as well. We saw it last season. We've seen it this season.
I know. But I mean, being actually coached, because last season Jackson was shit at finishing, and now he's good at it. So being coached to do that, he would have improved.
Yes, but you know what?
He's being coached this season to play. No, this doesn't run with Gusto because he's being coached to play a different way and to expand his game, and he's failing.
But my point doesn't just rely with Gusto, by the way. It stands with like the rest of the players in the squad.
Like most of our players are fit a Maresca system. Like the majority of our squad fit a Maresca system. The issue is not a profile issue; it's a quality issue, and that's been my biggest problem with these sporting directors from day one. It comes down to quality always. It's why I keep talking about when we talk about like centre backs and whatnot. And we might end up talking about one other centre back we're looking to bring back, which is embarrassing. It's like, how are we looking at all these centre backs or looking at all these different players? Like, they're not better than who we have.
No, but you know what is before you go. I really want to
hear the next topic.
I know, but I want to really hear this one. I think a big problem also here has become I'm beginning to get confused, particularly about when you buy some of these younger players, who is being flipped, than who is actually being there to be a long-term future, who actually, and that I think also plays an actual big part in like I think a lot of the confusion. Like I know we may speak on Caicedo soon. Caicedo is a good example of like someone they were raving about that brother. They were saying this guy, he's one of our future centre mids. You know, I remember he came with a lot of hype because of the under-19s or stuff like that. Or
under 20s, he was the best player. He won player of the tournament. The under 20s World Cup, I think, or Euros.
And I think wasn't Santos like a part of that too? Like Andre Santos.
No. So that same World Cup, I think it was the World Cup. That same World Cup, Santos got joint top goal scorer, being captain for the Brazil team, and Caicedo, I think he might have been captain as well for Italy. He won player of the tournament.
Yeah,
but this is my point. Like with these young players, like I said earlier, I think when we were talking about like flipping them or like you get 20 players in, the whole mentality is it's survival of the fittest, sink or swim, but no one's swimming; they're just all sinking. Like the whole point, I think the idea is it's sink or swim. The best will, like the cream will rise to the top, but it's like nothing's rising, no one's swimming because you bought so many of them, they all can't play. And like because they're not playing or they're given Premier League 2 minutes, it's like you're doing nothing. And because they've got no one to go out on loan to, when they do go out on loan, you cancel it after 6 months or the loan's just shit. Like they and this is why I talk about the multi-club thing. It's all just a circle. It's all cyclical.
Yeah.
Because you've done this completely wrong. The reason why City and Red Bull and not even Brighton do this, but like the reason City and Red Bull and who else are like big in terms of the multi-club thing, but like the big multi-club guys could do what they do where they go and sign the 20 young kids is because the 20 young kids they sign go and play for like 5 different clubs. We've signed 20 young kids, you send 3 to Strasbourg, you either then keep the rest or send them on dead loans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go, Marsh, actually, it's fine.
No, I was going to say, because since we're talking about these youth players, some academy, some of these young signings, I do want to move on to some of the things going on in the academy, and then obviously we'll talk on Anselmino and some of the other center back links that we have. But first thing is the academy moves. We have a few bits of news in terms of the academy. Not much relevant to what we're talking about until the next topic. But let me just show off this first few tweets and then we'll move on to the next topic. So apparently here we say, there's Arkansas saying, Harvey Vale is set to leave on permanent deal with less than 6 months left on his current contract. Any deal will only likely command a nominal fee with a sell-on clause likely to be included to cash in at a later date. What are you laughing at, Scotty?
Scott is actually a hater, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, these sporting directors recently, this whole the last like the lead up to January, bro, the bullshit they've been on, bro. Like again, you go back to the set. Like this is a guy who you could have sold for 20 mil, and now we're getting a nominal fee, which is like a couple of mil.
Cash, bro.
You know, it's funny. Actually, I told you guys before.
And I gotta hear fucking people defend these owners but they're making profit. Bro, 2 mil to Chelsea Football Club is fucking nothing.
That is nothing. I could use a mil though.
Chump change.
That is chump change. Yo, Chelsea, hook it up. A mil for Casually FC. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, you guys can get a good chunk of it too. Everyone on this panel right now. So hold that, Chris and CP. But what's a million divided by 6? We'll figure it out.
1/6, probably.
Yeah, probably like
15.
Marshall, it's nearly 1 a.m. in the UK. Give us a break here.
It's
mental maths at this time.
It's 166,666.666.
Yeah. all of you will get a piece of that. But all right, so Harvey Vale, that's up with him. I don't think anyone really gives a fuck. But yeah, Scott's right. We could have gotten more money out of him. Selena returns to Chelsea from his Barnsley loan. He suffered a finger injury and he's still not fit. So Chelsea staff will take care of the goalkeeper before deciding on a new loan. I didn't know that part. I thought he was just gonna nurse the injury and go back. But yeah, this is annoying. We'll come back to this in a second. And then yeah, pretty much. Chelsea forward Ronnie Stutter has been recalled from his loan spell at Burton Albion. Go ahead, Scotty.
I'll just say another one. Played one time.
I don't even know who this guy is.
He played once.
What, under Poch?
I'm not who that brother is, bro.
Yeah, he looks like Alfie's brother, to be honest.
Another great
haircut. I heard about Ronnie Starr before. I actually heard about him. Like,
he was doing a bit. I think he was part I think it was last season. I think it was basically him and Washington fighting for that #1 spot in the Premier League 2, and I think Starter was doing bits in the PL2, and yeah, he went to play like once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Selena one is really weird for me, considering I'm pretty sure he was starting and playing minutes. He broke his finger. I don't understand why not.
Yeah, but you know where it is, man. But you know where it is for these clubs. I think this is League One, right? That's where he's at, right? So like, you know where it is, bro. Like over there, bro, they don't have time for players that are not going to be that injured or hurt for quite a while, because they need the bodies there, bro. They play like almost like 2 times a week, if I'm not mistaken. So they play they play so many more games than us. So they need the guys.
Do you guys think, Ahmed? Do you think that Barnsley then requested Chelsea to recall him? Then
yes.
No, that would be stupid.
No, because then they would be charged. So I'm assuming what they did was, once he came back to full health, they just didn't start him at all. And then I think Chelsea were like, "What's going on?" And
he still has a broken finger, apparently. So
yeah,
but you had him. He was doing well. The whole thing, everything that's been reported is none of the reporting is Barnsley asked for loan to be cancelled. All the reporting is Chelsea decided to cancel the loan.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah,
he was on a good move. And again, I go back to it. Where are you going to send him to? Because this guy so far has had one shit move and one good move. So you're at 50% hit rate. Like, you sent him on loan to a Belgian club that got relegated. Congratulations. Well done. You now sent him on a good loan. Like, you finally found a good loan that wasn't Strasbourg. And after him getting injured and playing well, you decide to recall him. For what?
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense, which is why, like, Scott, this is part of the reason why I don't want to recall Santos. I want him to finish the season at Strasbourg.
The problem is, Marshall, and Bridge Nation's got a hot take here. I get that you want Santos to finish his development, because I think that's important for us, whether we like it or not. But at the same time, the needs of Chelsea also need to come before the needs of the player. I hate to say
there's a pathway for Santos.
Yes, there's
What's the pathway for Selena? A bad loan.
The problem is that, but this is again, I know we said this previously, but this is what happens when you're not doing the multi-club model correctly, in the sense of not.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the issue, bro.
It's a big
and
issue.
then you're overspending, on guys like on these top tier talents, and it's like, where are you going, big man? What's happening to you, bro? Where are we putting you, big man?
Time is a flat circle. How am we spoke about this yesterday, or I spoke about this yesterday. How am I experiencing the same problems 12 months on? Bro, we're discussing the same problems. We're literally having the same discussion that we had about Santos last year when he was at Nottingham Forest. We're having the same discussions that we were having in terms of striker last year. We're having the same fucking discussions. Time is a flat circle. I'm living in a simulation, bro. It's the same fucking day every day.
Oh my god! Wait 1 second. I gotta the time.
It's
too, bro.
Scott got me thinking, bro. What were you gonna say, Oliver? Sorry.
I was just saying that this Slanina thing is so. If it was true that he was having a good or okay loan, this is literally like identical to the Caicedo thing at Leicester last season.
With their starting kick. Hang on, where are they currently?
Barnsley.
He was the starting keeper for a team challenging for the League One title.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Wow.
What was the?
Yeah, so he was actually competing. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm right now, like, I get where you're coming from, Scott. And it is frustrating because we're back to square one in terms of, like, there's so many questions in regards to what these sporting directors are doing that in the summer, things were clarified. Things made a little bit more sense. And now I'm back in this boat of, like, okay, well, maybe time will tell. And we'll get more answers as this project continues as to what the reasoning was behind a few of these loans and what this and that. It's a weird one. And this takes me to the next topic, which is the Aaron Anselmino one, which I think is a bizarre one. This, I think, is linked up with another one, too, which we'll discuss as well. But, all right, let's start off with the first tweet I have here on the Aaron Anselmino situation. Aaron Anselmino returns to Chelsea as he will join Enzo Maresca's first squad with immediate effect from Boca Juniors. Argentinian center back travels to London at the end of this week, ready to join training at Cobham from next week. Decision confirmed. Aaron Anselmino is going to be part of the Chelsea squad, and no decision has been made yet on a new loan. Would you keep or loan? Asked Fabrizio right there. He said a few things to SportsCenter, ESPN. I'm happy with the new opportunity, a dream of any footballer, said Aaron Anselmino before traveling to London to join Chelsea. He also mentions here he's very grateful. I always felt their affection for me this year. Got injured quite often, but I'm happy and grateful. God willing, I will come back someday because it is my home. I love Boca Juniors very much. And he also said, I talked to the guys who are in charge of advising. I talk to them very often. I also talked to Enzo the day I went there via WhatsApp. I'm happy and I'm looking forward to joining the squad. Lastly here, everything happened to me very quickly. 2 days ago, I was with the national team in Argentina. I don't know if I had to travel or stay. Then Chelsea told me that they wanted me in their lineup. So, and I think that's a key word, in their lineup. So I'm happy about that, and I'm looking forward to going there. And to be clear, people aren't sure if this was a misunderstanding or a translation thing, or maybe I don't know. But we'll revisit this, obviously. And then Chelsea planning on keeping Aaron Anselmino rather than sending him away to another club. What's up?
Do you have the actual Spanish translation? Because I could know what the exact word is that he said.
I don't.
Big up human translate, man. Big up human translate.
By the way, I didn't even clock. I'm not going to really speak on Anselmino because people probably know my opinion of him by now.
Of course,
but I didn't even know the injury thing. Like when he said that, I had to go and check. This brother has played, so he's played all of 1,600 minutes his career and has already had 3 major injuries.
Yeah.
We bought another injury-prone player, bro. He's had 2 hamstring injuries, serious hamstring injuries.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, the thing is, like, I don't have much to say on this kid.
I think a lot of them were after. I think one of them or two. I think both of them one of them or both might have been after we bought him. To be honest, too, which is unfortunate.
I think Curry was the one that said he'd watched a few games of him, and he's a pretty good center back, but it's a huge leap from Boca Juniors, which, of course, respect the Argentinian League. Respect Boca Juniors is a respectable club in the Argentinian League. I mean, I can't say lately if that's accurate, but I know there's legacy there. But is he ready for Premier League matches and the intensity?
Hell no. Let's be realistic,
no.
bro. Let's be realistic, boys. Yeah, can we just be honest here? I've never watched her brother, respectfully. Big up to the boys that watch Boca Juniors, but I'm just gonna be going over a general assumption. Is the going from the Argentinian league to the league in the thingy, bro, it's very hard, bro. You know what I mean? For anyone of any age. And let's be realistic, that means he's not gonna be ready for us. Yeah. And
No,
if
he's
this
not.
is the club's way of saying this is the centre back that we're gonna be bringing in to save our remaining amount of the season instead of Tosin and Disasi, let's be real, guys. We are in serious trouble. We are in deep trouble, bro.
This guy's played 800 less minutes than Mudryk had before he joined us.
But okay, so this is the thing that's confusing me about this whole situation, is that, and you know what? I'm just gonna quickly move on to the next topic because this is gonna correlate to this.
Just before you do, with the Anselmino thing as well, I think I saw Matisse tweet about, or someone did when I looked at his stats, I can't remember all of them, but the one I remember is his heading ability is dreadful. Like, it's so average. Based on stats. I haven't watched him play. I'm not going to claim to watch Boca Juniors play. I don't need to have seen a minute of this kid play to know that he ain't good enough to start for Chelsea Football Club right now. But
I seem to remember reading he's like a shorter centre back.
Yeah, his heading ability sucks, so that doesn't fix anything in terms of our back line.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is gonna. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the mic. This is gonna transition me into the next topic, which is what makes this confusing. So originally, the idea that I got was that this was kind of like an emergency recall because Fofana is supposed to be out for the season. But there's been some updates on that tell us otherwise, which this is going to be a fascinating topic today. So Maresca says Fofana ruled out for a very long time, Badiashile out until February. And the way that Maresca worded this and said this in the press conference, it did make it seem that he was going to be out for a while. He never really outright said, oh, he's out for the rest of the season. But when someone asked him out for the rest of the season, he said, yes, possibly. Meaning that there's a little bit of wiggle room in terms of the plausible deniability, right? So, yeah, he says here, unfortunately, there's a risk Wessi Fofana could be out for the entire season. Initial feeling was for 5 weeks, but then more tests gave us bad news. We don't know exactly yet, but it's a huge loss. Then this is a chart here showing the injuries that Fofana has had since coming to Chelsea. And it's not been good. Not really coming since Chelsea. I mean, the fibula was something that he had at Leicester, but just really huge and horrible injuries that he's gone through his whole career, pretty much. Fibula is never a good thing. 2 knee injuries, cruciate ligament tear. 3, yeah, the cruciate ligament tear is one of those. And now a hamstring. So that's an addition to that one. So we continue here. Enzo Maresca.
Gotta end.
I don't think this is an injury. A torn hamstring can be compared with the rest. This one is muscular, and I don't think previously he had any muscular problem. It is a different kind of injury. He is a bit unlucky, but he will be back. The next comment here is, we did exactly the same with Benoit Badiashile before his injury, 1v1 with Dominic Solanke on the pitch, and they can deal with that. It is very difficult to find that kind of defender. Unfortunately, both are injured, and we are trying to find a solution. And I think he's referring to like a wide 1v1 defender. But we continue on here. Enzo Maresca, every time you ask me about Wes Fofana, I have said many times that I am in love with Wes. Wes is the kind of defender who can give you the chance to press and be aggressive, to leave him 1v1 with Ollie Watkins on the pitch. Continue on. More on the Enzo Maresca and Wes Fofana. It was the first update that we had when he said around 5 weeks. Tests, we realized it was worse than we thought at the beginning. It's a hamstring, and unfortunately, we're going to lose him for a while. Chelsea medical staff and some internally have suggested Fofana undergo surgery and would miss at least 3 months. However, Fofana has said no and declined. And this is coming from L'Equipe. And pay attention to this part. He has said no and declined. And possibly it's because this came out. So Vince here has a leaked DM from Wessi Fofana claiming that translation here, right? It's not true. I'm not out for the rest of the season. I don't know why Maresca, said that. I will be back in 4 to 6 weeks. And then some people believe that Maresca is displaying such pessimism on Fofana because he wants to put pressure on the club to deliver him a new center back this window. The player believes that he will be back well before the end of the season. Now, I do believe to an extent this is L'Équipe stirring up some drama. But I also...
How do you know they're going to set up drama? L'Équipe on, they're not known to lie about Chelsea when it comes to news in general.
But the thing is, for me, I find it hard to believe that Maresca wants Wesley Fofana out because we spoke about this earlier in the season. He speaks really, really highly about Wesley Fofana. Like, it's almost like for him, Wesley Fofana is one of his most important players. Like, he really speaks highly on Wesley Fofana. So for me, it doesn't make sense to say that he's trying to drive him out. And the other part of me that maybe he wants to put pressure off of Fofana. Maybe that's why he's saying he's going to be out for a long time. I mean, 5 to 6 weeks is still a long time, but it's not almost the end of the season or till the end of the season. But I don't know. This is a really weird story in terms of how it's developed now. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this whole situation?
Can I just be honest, Marshall? We should, I have for the longest time, and I've said it before, Fofana should have not even been here this year. That was my take for the longest while, and I still stand by it. And I've been proven, obviously, sadly, with what has happened. And I think for me, Maresca, clearly, I just think he wants another centre back now. Maybe he's trying to use this Fofana injury and trying to overblow it, as L'Équipe is saying. So I actually think that's a valid point they may be making to be like, let's read another centre back. And maybe the club's like, no, we've got a Chempong. No, we've got this Anselmino guy that we really rate highly.
We got Tosin.
Yeah, we got Tosin. We got Axel Disasi. You know what I mean? Also there too. And so maybe from the club is seeing the depth they've got there and being like, oh, they're good depth. And Maresca is realizing, much like how we are, that these guys aren't good enough. And he needs another centre back, bro. So I think that's what it is.
I don't know. I feel like I don't think you have been totally justified in your take. I feel that up until this recent injury, Wesley Fofana was surprisingly doing a really good job of staying fit and being a really, really good defender for Chelsea. Well, let me not blow it up. He's not been really good. He's been
but you know what? I'm not talking about him defensively. I'm just talking about him and his injury proneness.
Fitness wise, that's what
I mean.
Yeah,
but I agree with Marshall because, and to be honest, it was actually like when Reece got injured the second time. This is something I actually wanted to say, but I never got a chance to. And then a week later, Fofana got injured. But I wanted to ask Sinak, because he's in the medical field, right? And he was saying back in the summer that we have to give Fofana the season in terms of like getting fully back to his best. And when James got injured twice, I wanted to ask Sinak, why is it Fofana hasn't picked up any sort of a knock or injury yet? Because Reece has had 2 now. So why is there a difference between? I know Reece has always had his problems, but Fofana also just got surgery. So why hasn't he picked up? But then he got injured the following week. So that question was null and void. But yeah, Marshall's right. Up until the last few weeks, Fofana has been fine for us.
Yeah,
and if he's going to be back in a week's time, then I don't.
In a month, give or take.
Yeah. So if he's going to be back, then I don't think it's a big problem. I said when he got injured that he'll be back for the City game. I still believe that's the case. But Maresca wants another centre back because it makes sense. Because our 2 backups aren't, in terms of quality, are not that good. So it makes sense that he wants another one to come in.
I don't think he's going to be back for City. But I think he will be back sooner than we think. Like, I think he'll be back by end of February, which is what it seems based on what he's saying, right? And I mean, Vic, you got a point that obviously he won't play until he's fully fit. I don't think that's the case. I mean, he will get some minutes, but if he goes the whole season, right? Let me just paint the bigger picture. If he goes this whole season with this being his only injury and he was out for a month and a half or 2 months, then I don't mind that too much. That's not as bad as how Reece James has been in terms of injuries. Like, Reece James has only been available to play 3 games this season. Like, let's actually
Fofana's
be
only played, I
accurate.
think,
Standards are in hell though.
But Fofana's only played 12 games.
Hang on. We're talking about a guy who's had 7 knee injuries. Half of those have been since he's been here at Chelsea.
Yeah,
I know. I think a lot of that, I know this seems like a cop-out, but I think a lot of that's been just insanely unlucky fortunes for Fofana. Like, if we get that injury, that knee injury itself is very, very, like, maybe you could have seen it coming because of the knee injuries prior to that, but like the ACL, how many ACLs happened last season as well, even into this season with the volume of matches and fixtures going on and shit. Like, it was bound to happen to any of our players, and it happened to be Fofana, who had just come back from a bad injury the season before, right? So for me, it's like, okay, you did the operation on your knee, you did the tibia thing, you're done with that. Let's see if you can stay fit for a decent amount of time this season before I decide to just say sell you, right? Because I remember, and maybe this is a lot of nostalgia tax, I do remember how highly touted this player was prior to coming to Chelsea.
Do you know what the issue is though, Marshall? The amount of surgeries he's had, the amount of like stuff he's had done to him at this point, bro. Like, that is very worrying, bro. Some people don't recover after one. This brother's had 3, and that's not accounting for the ones he's had at Leicester.
And Maresca's already said he will play with pain for the rest of his career.
Yes,
pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, and so, like, bro, that is not, that's not
sound.
Yeah, that's not sound, bro. And like you can obviously you can disagree with me, obviously on the point of like him not being here this season, but it's just we need to be cutting ties now. Like at Chelsea, bro, we give far too much, time to guys that are injury prone, bro. We need to be realistic and realize the best ability is your availability, bro. That's why, bro, I know people are looking at him sideways. I'm going to give him a little bit more time in terms of Lavia because his injuries are more so muscle injuries, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping it's more so like a Madueke thing where he's grown into his body. And so I'm going to give him a little bit, I'm willing to give him a little bit more grace. But like guys like Reece James, guys like Wesley Fofana, I am personally willing to say it's time to move on, bro.
See, but this is the thing, though. Like, again, fines in the world, I see what you're saying here. I'm just looking at this season in isolation. Okay, the first season, you got fucked over, different managers, all that shit. You did get an injury that had you out for a bit of time, and then you came back. We thought you were going to be ready for the Pochettino season, and then you have a season-ending ACL blowout that cost you the entire season. You were out in the summer. You didn't even play a single minute in the Premier League. That is really unlucky. Prior to that, you had the tibia breakage, which was a freak tackle in a preseason match with Leicester. It's been really unlucky. This season so far, he's been more available than Lavia. He's been more available than Reece James. He's played, it has not been that much more minutes, but he's played, 13 games? 14 games for us? No, 13 games, I would say, give or take. That's a decent amount of games until he got his first injury here. And if he's going to be out until the end of February, and that's his only injury for the season, then you know what? That's not terrible. That's not, in my opinion, that's not terrible. I expect our players to go down with injuries that will have them out for a bit of time. Like, not all the time, but it does happen. Like, I feel like if you can reduce those devastating injuries to this little amount of time and keep that consistent, then okay. As far as I'm aware, you're getting you're having an injury rate that seems average to me. Now, if he comes back and he gets injured again, then the conversation changes for me, and then I start agreeing a lot more with you, Ahmed, and probably the rest of the panel. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that, or if anyone thinks that it's time to get rid of this guy.
I just think I'm looking towards next season, or maybe even how to push the season after. I want a title challenge. Can I rely on Wesley Fofana to do that? Can I rely? And this is a wider point onto all of the injury-prone players. Can I rely on Romeo Lavia to give me a title challenge? Can I rely on a Reece James to give me a title challenge? Unless we have top quality depth in that position, which I mean, centre back we don't. We've seen that. Midfield we don't have anyone else. Like period. And then you get what I'm saying. So Fofana's just not it for me. And like, if you want to keep him at the club, like sure, make him a B team player, but I just see, signs point towards it. It's probably best to move on. And like, you got to think as well, signed under a different sporting regime, with like Vivell and, or even pre-Vivell, he was a Bowley signing on 200k a week without any Champions League or performance incentives. And like the stats said in the previous comment, he's played 26% of the games. It's a drain on our wage budget.
Yeah,
and that's not changing.
No, I see what you guys are saying, and I mean in terms of that, I'm just, to me it's different than the Reece situation. Reece had a reoccurring hamstring injury that had him out for a lot. It feels like to me, and I could be wrong about this, that had him out for much longer stints than Fofana has been out for at least that first season under Chelsea. Like Reece was out for a really long time. And it's been a reoccurring issue that he didn't deal with until recently. Fofana had a reoccurring knee issue that I don't know if it's the same knee or the other knee. It resulted in a ruptured knee that had him out for the rest of the season, last season. That's fixed now. From this point forward, there shouldn't be that many major issues now.
Yeah, but
that's my 2 cents on that.
My issue is, Marshall, particularly when you're talking about like a ruptured knee, a hamstring injury, right? These things usually, the hamstrings, I would say, are reoccurring, bro. You know what I mean? Once it happens,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The ruptured knee thing, bro, that can cause all sorts of issues because once it's fixed, but remember, it's ruptured before. Once it happens the first time, you're more prone to do it the second time, right? Because it's gonna be a little bit more fragile. It's gonna cause more stress on other parts of your leg, whether it be your hamstrings, your quads, and stuff like that. But before we even get to that, there's a certain player I know he's been caught for doping and he's realized talent ain't enough. You know what I mean? But he's got a tattoo, where he says on his
talent, nasty word.
Talent ain't
nasty
enough.
Word.
And it's funny because obviously with him, I feel like that's a good quote for him.
ADDs, what else are you?
You know what I mean? ADD. But like, you know who I think that also is at 4 right now? Wesley Fofana and also Reece James. They have all the talent in the world. They are probably guys that could become elite of the elite players. They have the best ability, but as they say, talent ain't enough because they don't have the ability to stay fit consistently.
But again, listen, and this is not for you guys. I think you guys get my point. Westerwort. Bro, I'm not saying Wesley Fofana is going to remain injury-free for the rest of the season. If you literally think for a damn moment that even I, sitting here on this panel, think that Moises Caicedo is going to go without an injury this season, you do not
Don't jinx it, man. Why do you have to say his name, bro?
Why would you say that?
No.
Why would you say that? Why would you say
Listen,
that?
all of our players will get
next
injured
game,
at some
when
point.
he gets injured next game, look who he is.
The point that I'm trying to get at, right? And this is where I stood. I'm keeping it consistent because this is where I stood, and I'm talking really close to the mic because I want you to hear exactly what I'm saying. With me, I tried to keep it consistent. The reason I wanted N'Golo Kante gone, it was because he was available a lot less than he was available. With Wesley Fofana, if he returns from this injury, and that's the only injury he's had, this season he will be available for Chelsea a lot more than he was unavailable for Chelsea. If he goes the N'Golo Kante route, then I will keep it consistent and he will go. I am not a mind reader. I cannot tell the future, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you Wesley Fofana is out for the rest of the season. Wesley Fofana will get injured 2 weeks after he comes back from injury. Neither are you. So that's why we will see at the end of the season, and then I will make another assessment. But as of right now,
I feel like
if he returns like he's saying he will, then I'm okay with it as long as he stays fit. And I said it earlier, and I said this to Ahmed. Ahmed, you heard me. I said if he gets injured again, then Ahmed, I probably will agree with you.
listen, the streets know, man. The Bridge Nation, he's a poor father.
ASMR.
You know what I mean? He's a poor father. He's a poor thinker. You know what I mean? I knew Fofana was over this summer. I said it already, and now it's happening. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I want my Liga sentence right now. I think that's what they call it. That's what, isn't it what he does? I already said that rubbish. You know what I mean? But nah. On a serious note, I feel like at times in this current period of Chelsea, we're a bit more nicer to these guys because I know they've got a talent. But like when it was N'Golo Kante, bro, we were not nice, bro. We were not nice.
No, but that's the thing. Like,
and we were not nice. And we were not nice even to another guy. I'm gonna say because it's basically the same midfielder. But we're not nice to Kovacic when he was not. Was it called?
No. But that's the thing, though. Like,
and Pulisic is another one, for example. I know he wasn't great when he was playing for us, but when he came back from injury, but like we were not nice to a lot of these guys, bro, when they were injured. Right, we were getting injured, consistently injured. So,
but that's the thing for me, right? For me, I guess what makes Fofana different than Reece. In my mind, what makes Fofana different than N'Golo. In my mind, what makes Fofana different than Kovacic is that the injuries Fofana has had, they've been very big injuries, where, okay, most footballers at one point in their career are going to have a naturally causing, very, very bad injury at some point, right? And I say naturally causing because the tibia, I think he's just a victim of really bad circumstances there. Like, really unlucky that happened. If he doesn't play in that match, he doesn't get the broken tibia. He never gets tackled, right? The ACL, that happens. It happened to Carvajal. It's happened to Alaba. It's happened to multiple players last season. You know, we can name it off. That does happen. It's about how they return from that injury, how they recover from that injury. N'Golo Kante, and we looked at this with Scott, I remember, N'Golo Kante, season after season after season, showing consistently unavailable due to the same injury or different injury, this, that, like small injuries that constantly persisted, right? With Reece, it's the same thing with the hamstring. Another hamstring, same thing over and over. Now this season, another hamstring, you know? Kovacic, small injury here, another injury there. There's consistent injuries with them. And I'm not saying, again, Fofana isn't going to be injury-free the rest of the season. Broken tibia is basically your leg logic. He broke his leg because he got tackled in a preseason match. I think it was against Valencia when he was at Leicester. So with Fofana, he had a really bad injury last season that had him out for the whole season, right? And he did have a bad knee injury prior to that had him out for a good chunk of the season with Graham Potter, which is another one that goes against my argument, right? This one so far, I think it said tibia. Sorry, logic. I mixed up both words. For this season so far with Fofana, and I get where you guys are coming from. I by no means don't understand it. Like I know all of us have different. What the hell? All of us have different levels of patience with injuries and such. But for me, it's mostly like, okay, this is your first injury, strike one, and you have played.
This is your first injury.
This season.
Oh my!
You went 12. You went 12 games, being available, playing a full 90, or for the most part playing full 90s, and you finally got your first injury, and you're going to be out for a month or two. Okay.
But Marshall, he's going to be out for January, February, and March, bro. He's missing a good third of the season.
According to Fofana, he's going to be back. We're doing this again. God damn it! Hold on. I'm not. According to Fofana, he's going to be back at the end of February.
Yeah, but but it's probably end of February, early March. Either way, that's still 3 months he's been out for, Marshall, because he's not been. So yes, because he went out mid-December, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, he went out mid-December.
So 2 months and a half.
Yeah, so essentially, you're right. So basically, bro, he's about to miss a quarter of the season, bro, from one injury. Like that is a bad injury, bro. Like, what do we like?
It's still that's the thing. It's still a major injury, and if we're going to persist with this guy, you go one of two ways. You make him a B team player, so you don't rely on him in the A team, or you have a top quality backup for him to come into the A team when this happens. And we don't have that backup. Agree with you, so you either make him a B team player, or you get rid of him.
I should say though, I do agree with you about getting another center back. Like,
I forgot it was at the Villa game. Yeah, I was at the Villa game.
Yeah,
he got ended. The past it is 3 months. It's gonna be 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. Yeah, that's a good chunk of time.
And listen, at the end of the day, like sometimes, bro, we just gotta cut your losses, bro. You know, we can't keep saying, listen, we need to see what's gonna happen this season. Sorry, I just had to speed it up here. It's gone. It's finished, bro. Respectfully, just Fofana, bro, thank you for being at Chelsea, brother. I'm shaking your hand for the Chinese games you do. But it's time bigger, better, and stronger. That's gonna last.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. And again, it's not because I don't know where you guys get this idea that I like Fofana and I'm player FC for Fofana.
Yeah, he is, man. See, Marshall's player FC.
I'm not. I'm not player FC. I've
Kukurea
never been player
FC.
FC.
Fofana
I've never
FC.
been player FC. Never
Reece
been player
James
FC.
FC.
Never been player
Sanchez
FC.
FC now these days. He's even been Sanchez
injuries
FC.
and stuff and players. Sorry, I'll wait for you to finish, Marshall, but I want to speak on it.
Go speak, please.
No, I'll let you finish, Marshall.
No, I was just saying I'm not player FC.
Let me put this down.
Oh,
I just got an update with something funny, so I'll leave that for later.
And we cut our losses of Ahmed. How about we cut you out for 5 minutes? How about that logic? You know what I mean? You didn't know I was a mud, did you, bro?
Nah,
I'm just kidding. I'm trying.
I'm gonna save I just got sent for my Rico case for later. But yeah, our injuries and stuff. If we're particularly talking about what Reece, Fofana, and who's the other guy? Lavia. Me preferably, you guys know how I feel about injury-prone players. I preferably don't want them part of my squad, particularly when they're meant to be like my main guys, my spine. But I mean, I say this when you look at, for example, Liverpool during the Klopp era, and even this season, Alisson is injury-prone, and how they've been able to deal with that when he's been out is you have a quality backup. I mean, I don't rate Kelleher, but regardless of my personal opinion, you have a backup that is competent, and you also have a team that's able to deal with the short-term injuries of your player being out for like 1 or 2 or 3 months, whatever. When you look at City, the injuries they've had to their players in the past and still be able to win league titles. They won 2 league titles under Pep when KDB was out for the majority of the season, and that wasn't a problem. They've won league titles with Gundogan, who's been a main player for them, being out injured in the past. So it's just how you deal with said injuries. Now, Alisson is not Reece James out injury prone. Alisson is injury prone. Alisson is very, very injury prone. But it just depends on how you particularly you deal with it. Now, Lavia being out, and also he's like, what, 18, 19, 20? But Lavia being out wouldn't be that much of a problem if we had kept Leslie Oguchukwu, who could play as a defensive midfielder. Reece being out wouldn't necessarily, or I say Reece, Fofana, let me say, wouldn't necessarily be that much of a problem if we had a competent backup centre back that could fill in. If you have a good enough squad, you can kind of mitigate some of your best players being out at certain parts of the season. So long as they're fit and healthy to play in the back end when you need them. With City in the past, KDB being out for a few months on end, but he's always been there for them in the back end of the season in the title running. Alisson being out in the early parts of the season for Liverpool, but he's always been fit and willing to go in the second half of the season. Sometimes, depending on just the quality of player, and for this, I'm mainly talking about Reece. I've said all stuff about Reece in the past, but if you can kind of mitigate against that, maybe it's worth it, because I know, and I'm okay, I've accepted the fact of we will sell Reece and some other club will be able to fix this injury thing that he has, and he will be world class for them. I've accepted that. I'm okay with that. I accepted that like 2 years ago, and that will be the case. A lot of this fan base hasn't, because we'll sell him, he'll be world class in 2-3 years with no injuries, and this fan base will do what they love to do, and they'll do revisionism of why did we sell Reece? He was just a year away from being fit. This fan base will do revisionism for Fofana if we sell him, and he ends up staying fit. fan base, we do revisionism for Lavia. So if you want to keep them, fine, but you have to mitigate that by having a good enough squad. Or if you get rid of them, then actually replace them adequately. If we get rid of Reece, then you have to bring me in, let's say at least a top class defender, whether he's a center back or right back, but a top class defender that has experience and is a leader, because that's what we're missing with Reece if we sell him. He's a world class defender, whether at fullback or at center back in a 3. He's a leader. He's experienced. With Fofana, kind of the same thing. You need a top class replacement. None of these 18-year-old kids that we need to develop for 2-3 years. Lavia, if you get rid of them, fine, but you bring in another like talented defensive midfielder that comes straight into the team. Or you give Leslie a chance, because I think Leslie is good. But the thing is, he's not on the same talent level as a Caicedo or a Lavia or a Santos. That's why people don't speak on him. But I rate Leslie highly. I think he's very, very talented. So that's my whole thing with these injuries. It's only, that's my thing with these injuries, I guess. That's me being like rational, by the way. That's not me crashing on anyone, because I can easily do that, but I'm tired of doing that this season. It doesn't help anything.
Thing is, though,
yeah.
You know, to keep players like this in your squad, it's getting to the territory where you have to do what kind of what Ahmed suggested maybe in the summer, and you have to have for each of these injury-prone positions, you have to have 3 players. You know, you have to have 2 backups effectively, so that the actual backup doesn't get overloaded. In Reece James's case, you need 3 right backs, including him. You can't do that with 3 positions, though. It's too much squad space.
Yeah, I mean,
true. Yeah.
Obviously, with what's happening with Fofana, it's really unfortunate. Most of us can tell the dip in performances that have occurred since Fofana has been out with injury. It's not been very great. We can tell that Fofana has played a pretty big part in the team and the performances and how decent we've been in defense when he is in the lineup. But listen, we'll obviously revisit this conversation when more news comes out of it, clarity on the situation, because I'm sure Enzo's going to be asked about it, and when Fofana returns. So hopefully when he does return, he stays fit. And then we can have a discussion on the end of the transfer, at the end of the summer, or at the end of the season, whether is it worth keeping Fofana if he's going to be out for 1 or 2 months in the season, or 3 months in the season, or to sell him on. But last but not least, ladies and gents, we got the final topic of today, and I do have to cut it a little short simply because I do have to head out very soon. And we're going to end it on Kolo Muani, which we did discuss a bit here and there. But we never really fully, hashed it out and discussed what was going on with Kolo Muani. So let's start off with the first tweet that I have here as I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. Kolo Muani. Chelsea want Kolo Muani in January. Contact with PSG is set to start in the coming days, according to Santi JFM. We continue on here. Chelsea will like Kolo Muani's qualities, his versatility, and the fact that he's available. PSG would like a loan plus option. And then Ben Jacobs saying here, Randall Kolo Muani is not in Chelsea's plans. Fabrizio pretty much confirming it here as well. Chelsea have not started any concrete negotiation for Kolo Muani. Fabrizio also said, let's see which club is going to really negotiate with PSG for Kolo Muani, because at the moment there's interest from many, but still nothing concrete or advanced. Something will happen for sure, because Kolo Muani will leave Paris. And yeah, that's pretty much everything we have on that. I'm pretty sure this is coming from Kolo Muani's camp. They're obviously, the agents are probably looking for him to have a move somewhere, so they're just putting, Manchester United links, Arsenal links, I think even Barca links were in there, so on and so forth, for Kolo Muani to make a move. Does anyone on the panel actually want Kolo Muani? I believe the rumor was that it was going to be a loan with an option to buy at the end of the season.
I'm pretty sure you asked this before, and I'll give the same answer. I said then no.
Bro, it's like, I'm good, bro. Ain't nobody wants the Honda. You feel me? Like, I'm fine.
Who?
Huh?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm good on this. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. His profile is similar to Jackson. From what I can tell, or from what I've heard, he's a bit more versatile in the attacking three in terms that he can play on the wings, he can play as a cam, he can play as a striker. But I don't know. Do any of you guys think that maybe the PSG move wasn't a good fit for him?
No, it wasn't. It was a terrible fit. It was just a terrible move all around.
Mm-hmm. Because he was touted pretty highly prior to the move, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was. He was having a great season for Frankfurt. But like, this is what happens when you buy a player that's, you know, highly rated, but you haven't really like done your due diligence. Excuse me, on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if it was a loan option, obviously I don't want to. I feel like we can just invest in better players, or we can probably get a loan for another player that's probably better. But if I were to play devil's advocate,
your favorite player.
I feel I feel like Kolo Muani wouldn't be a bad shout, considering Christopher Nkunku isn't giving us what we're asking for. Mark Guiu is still developing and still a bit too young and underdeveloped to be relied upon. So I could see Kolo Muani being a decent temporary band-aid for the situation. Does anyone disagree with that? Is it not even worth a loan?
No. I don't think I don't think it's worth doing this band-aid thing. Like,
okay.
Just go and get the player. Like, yeah, I don't think there's any point in doing the band-aid thing. Like, if you want a striker, go and get Gyökeres, go and get whoever. Don't do this band-aid
even
shit.
if you do it, yeah, but even if you're doing the band-aid thing, it then depends as well. There are other players in the market. You know, would you take an Evan Ferguson over a Kolo Muani? That's a question that people have to ask themselves if we're going to go down the loan route. You know, because that has to be. You know, he is an option.
I wouldn't do that. Like, again, my depth and my knowledge. Fuck you, Vic. My depth and knowledge of Kolo Muani isn't a vast one, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've seen Kolo Muani games and I know what kind of player he is and stuff. My knowledge of Kolo Muani is a few matches for France, and that's about it, right? So for me, as an alternate and a rotation option with our current striker lineup until summer, because unfortunately, I don't think any of the strikers we mentioned are going to be available in January. I think that is something that could potentially be a temporary fix or a temporary solution. I do get where you guys are coming from. Save the money and just go for the big name that you want. But then that's going to be more pressure on Jackson, more pressure on Guiu to perform. And people are already fed up with Nkunku. So, I don't know. This is a tough one for me in terms of, like, if he's available as a loan option and that's the only thing we can get, I don't know. It might not be the worst shout. It depends on.
Problem is though, you're talking about pressure on Jackson though, but what about, like, in this case, if this were to happen, what about pressure on Kolo Muani? I mean, he's folded under the pressure at PSG, and now he's going to have millions more eyeballs on him.
Mm-hmm. Also, on a side note, if you looked everywhere, if you did your due diligence, so to speak,
which I have,
and looked everywhere, and your only option is Kolo Muani on loan, you ain't done your job properly.
Yeah, don't you think it's kind of an opportunity?
Your due diligence was Googling, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
I mean, we did do our due diligence yesterday. We looked at that free agent market, but that's in the summer.
Yeah, but that's Marshall. We did that, and we came up with enough names that, like, you could get right on a free transfer in the summer.
Yeah.
And we looked on the transfer market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you like the whole due diligence thing of, like, you shouldn't need to go and get Kolo Muani on loan. That should never have to be an option that we have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's about it in terms of the show, guys. I mean, I had more to talk about, but unfortunately, we did have a lot of great discussions today, and I do have to run out. I'm already running late to a podcast I have to be on. So, that being said, guys, I appreciate you. It's also my fault because I started late. Guys, do appreciate every single one of you in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you on the panel. By all means, check out the links in the description for everyone's content down there. RSM, Prime, the Final Whistle podcast, all that fun stuff is down below. Check out the content. There's plenty of content for you guys to watch. Be sure to check out the Discord. Like I said, obviously, if you have any clips that you want to share with the community, receipts to be held, and I'll start a thread on the Discord. It'll be the receipts thread. All right, it'll be there for you guys to put in there to check out. We do watch alongs on there essentially as well. We have an active community. We do react suggestions. All that fun stuff is in there. So check out the Discord. It's I'm gonna start promoting it more often because I want more people from the community to join in on some of the fun that's going on Discord. Be sure to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Like the video, like I just literally said. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, be sure to check out the memberships because we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and if you're a proper casual and higher tiered member, you get shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to be going out to TM127, EE, Hasanawan, Dark, Adrian, A, Suleiman, and big up to you guys. So the rest of y'all who are members, big up to you guys as well. It help keeps the lights on and helps support the channel. More great content to come from members as well. I promise you that. But that being said, we're going to raid out to Sarcasm City, so the raid message will be popping up really shortly. Be sure to copy and paste it, let them know where you're coming from, and show them some love because Man United pulled an upset today, and they nearly beat Liverpool. Let's be honest. Last opportunity of the match, Maguire skied it. And if you haven't seen Stoppy TV's reaction to that missed opportunity, check out the RSM edit. It was absolutely legendary. So big up to RSM for that edit. Big up to Stoffy for that wonderful moment in football YouTube that we're going to get. But yeah, let Sarcasm City know where you're coming from. Show them some love. We'll be back again on Wednesday for a Chelsea Hour show. And then Thursday, I believe we're doing another Casually Chelsea show to talk about the topics we missed today, as well as some new stories and bits that are going to be coming out as well. So big up to you guys. Have a wonderful night and peace.